Hello everybody and welcome to our first exciting edition of, as it's now titled, the PokéPod World. It is finally great to start a new season here with all of you folks. As you guys already know, new games launched, new series is launched, new everything has pretty much launched.
Please subscribe to Tier 2, thank you.
Tier 2? Excuse me?
Whoa.
Monies!
Well, not just that, but thank you so much for subscribing, first of all, to Tier 2. Absolutely appreciate it, if he says. And, yeah, so, as I was saying before, this is our new season. This is our new opportunity for us to kind of go and have a little bit more fun this time around. And, you know, of course, do more silly shenanigans as usual. But as mentioned beforehand, we're going to, of course, take things one step at a time. And, obviously, there's a lot to go down for our new season. We have new layouts, new chances, all that kind of good stuff, and hopefully it's going to be a fun ride with everyone here. So before we go any further, of course, let me go and introduce everybody here in the call right now anyway, because I'm not sure where the others are at. We got our pal TSS, of course. How you doing, buddy? Well, okay, I didn't realize you were somewhere in the station.
How you doing, everybody?
Oh my god!
You know, there's like a $5 George chime that does that, and I need to buy it off of AliExpress because I love that sound effect. I need that in my life.
Damn.
That's quite the introduction.
Yeah, indeed. How about you, though, Evie? How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good myself. Hello, everyone. Back in the West Coast. Of course, I am afflicted with the cold flu, but you know, I'm doing pretty good in that.
That's good to hear, pal. I'm glad to see everybody's doing A-okay. And, of course, you know, we have our other pals who will be joining us momentarily. Well, I hope anyway. I know Richie explained to me earlier beforehand that he had some kind of game he was attending to right now, so...
Yeah, the football madness.
Yeah, I can't understand this football thingy. Okay, so before we go any further, let me just go and explain a couple of things that many people are noticing right now. So as you guys can tell by the screen, we have a couple of new little things that weren't there prior to our last announcement in the last session of the original PokéPod R. So we gave a little bit of a sneak peek back then, showing you some of the artwork that was being presented at the time. And I want to give a massive shout out to, of course, our pal Sergi, or Sergi Romero fully on Twitter, for being the one responsible for all the amazing artwork that you are seeing right here. He has done such an amazing job creating everybody's designs and their Pokemon, their partner Pokemon to be exact as well. All present here. You know, we got a lot of folks, of course, that have been present with our journeys in the world of the PokéPod, with more eventually being added over time, of course. But as of right now, this is a nice start to our saga here. So you can see from going from the left and then, you know, downward, we got Tyrone, we got Terrell, or otherwise known as TheInsaneGameFreak. At the very bottom left, we also got our pal Richie there. Going up to the top right, we got our pal that's in the call right now, TSS. We also have our favorite buddy, Polly, as well, joining in on the fun. And then, of course, none other than Ruby right there at the bottom right. So, a lot of nice little characters that our pal Rich, Sergi made for us, and absolutely love every single one of them, and absolutely appreciate it. And of course, as we mentioned beforehand, more will be added eventually over time. It's just as prior, things will eventually, you know, go in bit by bit. But I hope it's going to be a fun one nonetheless. So, once again, thank you to our pals, you know, Sergi Romero for the amazing artwork that you see here, as well as our pal Doodlelot for being the one that is responsible for creating the new logo for what you see here in the PokéPod world. So, absolutely is something I really am happy and just so proud to see.
Hello, Tyrone. How are you,
buddy? How's it going?
Hello.
Hey, Evie.
Hey. Hello.
How's everything on your end, Tyrone? Everything was fine?
I'm doing good. I hope I wasn't interrupting like something.
No, I just pretty much finished it like right in the nick of time. You
all right, cool.
You ruined everything.
I ruined everything. God damn it.
The dinner is ruined.
All right, so first of all, what's up? How's everybody doing in the chat as well?
And it looks like the chat's all doing pretty A-okay as well. So I'm glad to see that, man. So I guess now with that being said, since we got a lot of people on here,
This is our first episode of PokéPod World, isn't it?
Yes, indeed. Our very first session,
Woo!
man.
It's a brand new world.
Let's
get
get
A
it.
whole new world, to be exact.
Oh, no.
Okay, not that whole new world, but it'll work.
Okay.
Well, you know the problem. You know the problem is the brand new world is also is in orange and it's also in DP. So we got to.
Guys, PokéPod World.
All right. So does that actually mean Disney's going to buy off the bot?
What?
What? Repeat that. You cut off from me, buddy.
Whack, whack.
So does that mean that Disney will buy the PokéPod?
Oh,
Oh no.
maybe they already
Well,
did, and I didn't even
I will
realize
be
it.
going to Disney next
We
month.
got the best lawyer in the business, TSS, ensure that Disney won't buy us.
Why him? Isn't it supposed to go on my end, though?
No, you're the leader. He's our lawyer. There's a difference.
With that being said, let me just count my thousands of dollars I just acquired by this random mouse that just hopped by here.
All right, so yeah, and I'm sure we're gonna talk about because I know like I said before, we got a lot of topics today, don't
Yeah.
we?
Now, I guess before we go any further, I know Anime NYC has come and gone, of course, for another year. And a couple of us actually have already gone to the event and had a really great time. And some things that we thought would be worth mentioning.
Yeah,
However,
that's what I wanted. I wanted to hear you guys.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious if we have enough time to actually squeeze that into this discussion. I assume we do, given that there's
Yes.
we have the Pokemon Sword and Shield impressions, we have the of
games.
course episode review in itself, and then of course this. So I guess let's go and kick things off now with our.
Well, I'm sure you guys are gonna split it into the other PokéPod session too. Since
Yeah,
you and
no,
Edie-
there's one thing in particular I'm gonna say for the next session.
Okay,
For the
Thing that I
animated
couldn't go to.
Not that. Well, yeah, I guess you couldn't technically go to both films. So the first one is, of course, the Konosuba film that I actually went to go and see alongside with Evie over here. Thanks to him for actually buying the tickets. We actually managed to go and check the film out on Thursday, the day before Anime NYC, which I'm very thankful for because it was a great way to kick things off for pre-Anime NYC. So that was great.
It was worth every penny, by the way.
It was worth it, but of course we're gonna break things down. Moving into the next session, we'll hold on to our review for then. And the other one that I'm also gonna be talking about in the next session will be the film that everybody has been going nuts about since the film debuted in Japan, known as Wuthering With You. I actually managed to get a hand in watching the film, and I have a lot to talk about regarding the experience to even get to that film, man, because it was like I had to be there at 10 just to even be sure that I would even get the spot that I did, and I was like the 20th person in line.
Someone Goggle Master asked for a request. He said sing the Pokemon World theme song, but replace it with PokéPod. I wanna watch the ultimate stream. Find courage on Sweet Pokemon.
Oh, no,
Watch
it's
it all.
Pokemon.
PokéPod.
There you
Watch
go.
it all, but not forget the
And-
jokes that they told.
And unfortunately, I had to watch Weathering Without You because I actually had to leave on the day that Weathering With You decided to premiere on Anime NYC. yesterday.
Damn.
Yeah, and what happened with me was I was in line. The lady that was behind me that said the thing where it had the cutoff. Okay, and I thought I saw her online and said, okay, I'm gonna get in. Wrong. About 250 people in front of me. They just said, line is being dispersed, capacity reach. I'm like, how fucked up is this place where you cannot even count the people that are in line to do a proper cutoff?
Dude, it got insane because first of all, there was a line, an unofficial line before the official line, if that makes any sense.
Well, yeah.
So what happened is that at around 1 o'clock, the people who went to go inside to watch the whole Sailor Moon and Naruto VA panel, they all went in. However, the thing that was awkward was that they had this entire section emptied out. Obviously, this is because of, this is how they have to handle these sort of convention stuff. So this is their format. So what happened is that people suddenly began to pile up right by the line, even though you're not supposed to do that until around 1:30. The thing is, it got so crowded there that it became an issue to where people weren't able to actually walk up to the escalators because they actually blocked that shit with the people's bodies and whatnot. So it got tougher, and they had to like split the
bodies
group in half. Yeah, like I swear, like there would have been a chance somebody would have fell into the escalator.
But it's like the whole convention wanted to wait down there.
Yeah, so it just became
tough.
this massive pile,
Damn.
and I was fortunate enough. I don't know how the hell I got really lucky with this, but in that pile that I was in, one of the security guards decided to open up one of the sections of the pole and remove the rope to let people go in one by one. It just so happened that that area that had the rope was where I was at. So I was able to get in really early amongst other people, and I became like the first 20 people to go into
Breaking
the
the
film.
law, breaking the law.
And I was so happy with that because I was like, shit, this is insane. And it doesn't even get any better than that, because like what happens is that the line, like they are doing this sort of zigzag format here. And the zigzag format is horrible because it's like there's no space for you to sit down. If you see everybody else sit down before you sit down, you are not going to sit down. So I had to stay my ass up for like 3 hours just standing up in this like very constrained spot just to even, get inside to watch the film. But I was super lucky to, get in early and get a really close-up seat on it, man.
Wait a minute.
Nice.
Snowy Taco, the only thing is only 2 people saw it, and I saw it in August in Japan. I didn't even see it this time.
Yeah, and of course, to those who might have missed out on the film, do not worry. There is a chance to watch it next year in January. Which is going to be on theaters. They actually did talk a little bit about that during the presentation before the film actually aired, saying that this is one of the groups that was responsible for bringing the film over here to the West. And not going into any details regarding the film. Of course, I'm going to save that until the PokéPod anime edition we're going to do for that one, so look forward to that. But I will say right now, in regards to the film, it's definitely something that I could say is a one-of-a-kind experience that honestly deserves to be watched on the big screen rather than on your television or even on your smartphone device. It's just that grand. It really shows you a different level of just amazement that you've never really experienced from a film prior to this.
And you know that Sato Sere will watch the movie like 7 times, so you know it's good.
Now, the thing I want to note about that as well, one last thing before I let you guys go on. One thing to note about watching this film. Number 1, please give your entire attention to this. I know this is something everybody should already do when watching a film, to be honest, but this is one of those films that is like so fast-paced that if you miss out on something, you might miss out on a certain gap of the film, so like really put your utmost attention to it. I can understand now why people watch this 6 to 7 times, because people could miss out on some shit in the film. It's crazy.
Or the dialogue just goes too fast and you're not able to like comprehend everything. And I was having churros while I was watching that movie, so
I really want to talk about one, like, because the other thing that the people told us when we were watching the film is expect cameos in this film. And when the characters came in, the audience went nuts. I will say that right now. The audience went nuts over certain character cameos. There is one character cameo though in this film that I'm pretty confident 90% of people missed, and I really, really want to talk about it with you guys. but it is something that I feel you have to go and see for yourself. If you guys want me to spoil it, I'm not sure if you're okay with that, but seriously,
I think we should wait for that until after the theatrical release.
yeah, like in January. I know like almost everyone in Japan probably already seen it by this point.
Yes.
But like for those outside of Japan though, there's that one cameo that's so well hidden. I kid you not, it's so well hidden. When I saw it, I was like probably the only person. Okay, I probably was the only one who reacted to it because I didn't hear no one go nuts over this cameo. That's how hidden this character was. But the other ones, the other ones were up in front. Yes.
Weathering with you and Knuckles.
And Knuckles.
And Knuckles.
Well, to be fair, not watching the movie sucks. You should watch the movie.
Yeah, so folks, the movie is going to be coming out in January. You are actually able to go and get your chance on getting the tickets right now, so make sure to go get them.
Wait, so when you say January, because, okay, this goes into my problem with freaking movies coming in America that are anime movies. How many days and in what theaters?
Well, I don't know about that. You got to go check that out for yourself.
I believe it's only for like a...
Yeah,
because this isn't...
Well, it's 2 days. Wednesday,
this isn't
January
a fucking...
15th, Wednesday, January 15th, and Thursday, January 16th. And let's see...
I think it's just 2 days.
And wait a minute.
And see, and that shit right there is the problem. That's the problem. We need to get anime movies treated better. Like, only 2 days? That's pathetic.
Well, and wait a minute, it says in theaters nation... No, fan preview screenings January 15th and 16th in theaters nationwide, January 17th.
So yeah, there are more. It says Weathering You is being shown in many theaters like they did with Your Name. More times too, apparently. So, yeah, so...
Right, but the preview... Okay, so it looks like the dub is going to be on... Okay, some theaters are showing the dub on Wednesday and the sub on Thursday, and there are some theaters that are actually showing them at the same time.
Yeah.
You said this is in January?
Indeed, it is in January.
Okay. Damn, we still gotta wait so... Why do we gotta wait so long?
Okay, they're having it at the
AMC
theater on 42nd and the Regal on the same block.
I might need to go watch the film again, though.
When you consider the fact that we got simul-dub now.
Yeah, no, I think it's just because of the fact of, this is a theatrical release, this isn't
if you want to go to the AMC, because I'd rather go to AMC because they have the recliners and shit.
Yeah, I experienced the recliners for the first time with Evie there.
Well, actually,
the Regal. That was at the Regal, right?
Yeah, I think it was Regal.
Yeah, it was Regal.
Okay, then we'll go to the Regal.
But were you going to go on, Evie?
No, I was going to point out that it was Regal, the Regal that we went to had recliners, not just AMC.
You want to talk about that one shit that happened, Evie? With the fucking guy?
Yeah, at least it's not. Yeah, it's not Konosuba movie related, but So as we were enjoying this Konosuba movie, we were just enjoying ourselves. We were just laughing and crying our asses off. And then there was this one guy at the very back at the theater, at the auditorium, that was just snoring away. He was just...
Yeah, like there are moments in the film that's like silent, just pure silence, and you just hear like in the fucking background, and I'm like, I thought that was part of the film, and I'm like, no, that was somebody snoring somewhere in the goddamn audience.
Yeah.
And I was
like I said, that guy probably had narcolepsy.
Dude, what made me surprised is because, like, first of all, I almost fell asleep too because those recliner chairs were fucking neat as hell, man. I've never experienced them before.
Yeah, it's like one of those.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's like a lot of the theaters are upgrading their seats. Like, for example, I have an AMC. I have an AMC theater that's like 10 minutes from my house. And that has the reclining seats. And I have seen a lot of anime movies and other things in that theater, and I tell you, the experience now in the last like 5 years is so much better than it was in the 90s and early 2000s.
I actually experienced my first recliners about like 2 years ago when I went to watch Kong Skull Island. I went inside and I thought to myself, wait, are we in the fucking wrong auditorium? Do we have to reserve these seats? No, they're free. Go ahead, sit down, relax, just
Lucky.
Yeah.
I've been
yeah.
watching films for so many years, and this fucking film was the first time I've ever gone into a recliner chair.
Hey,
and
well,
I'm
well,
like,
hey, you should be happy that I actually, aside from seeing the movie, be happy that I actually planned this out just for you to experience those recliners for the first time.
yeah, it wasn't about the film. It was about the goddamn recliner chairs.
Yeah.
Oh man, but I will say they were comfy as hell though. I cannot deny that. They were super comfy for me. So had a great time with that though. We will save our reviews for those films in the next podcast session. So please look forward to that. There are a lot of things to talk about, of course, so we're gonna put as much time on the other topics as possible. What's up, buddy?
Okay, and apparently I didn't see this myself, but someone apparently threw a drink at that guy that was snoring.
Oh my god, you missed that, didn't you? Okay, that's why I was fucking laughing, because I saw something like fly through the air.
Okay, look, I was still fixated on the film, so obviously I wasn't going to pay too much attention as to what's going on around me. I heard that, but I didn't see anything fly right by us.
No, I just because I think I got up and it was like I saw it fly, but it was like at the very bottom. So I don't even know what the hell happened, but after that, the dude just stopped snoring. So I'm pretty confident something had to have landed, but holy shit, did that catch me off guard, man. So thankfully nobody did it. No, there was no thing going on, nothing of violence, nothing of that sort. I'm genuinely surprised given we're New York, but everything was perfectly calm after that. So overall everything was fine, and the film was a thing, and we'll talk more about that soon enough. But yeah, that was another first experience for me, man. I've never seen that experience before, and I've seen people go shh or stuff like that, but never to the point of actually seeing a physical object being yeeted from one part of this theater to the other. So that was great. I guess with that being said, that's our experience with the films. Well, I mean, getting to them anyway, and maybe some of us missing out on it, unfortunately.
Now, I can't decide if I should watch Weathering with You on the the fan screenings, or whether I should watch for the national screenings.
I guess it depends. I guess it depends on how close the nearest theater is to you. When that's doing the fan things.
I mean, here's the thing. It's Weathering with You. I don't know whether I should
Boo!
Okay, thank you, Tyrone. Thank you. Okay.
I got it too.
I was gonna say boo the first time too, but I
think the beauty was how we just completely one-sided that shit. Just moved on.
Yeah, I shut that. I shut that shit down like Con Ed does when you don't pay your fucking power bill.
Damn.
All right. Anyways, let's move on.
Let's go.
Oh goodness. All right. So what's the next?
Well, and also, I just want to say really quickly, we're going to talk more about Anime New York City next week because we obviously don't have a lot of time. But I'm going to say thank you to Red Dragon Emperor Ash for meeting us up again, like you did last year. Really cool. Thank you to Polly, Caroline,
Herms as well.
The other one.
Dimitri.
The other one.
The other one. Yeah.
Yeah, and just a bunch of people. So overall, I could say this was still a very fun experience, and something I'm very glad to see still continue to kick in full force. There's a lot of details we will talk about in the next session, such as the change of direction they went with this year, and some other details as well. So look forward to that. But this is our small little, I guess preview discussion for it. And keeping it spoiler free as possible. But now I really want to hear from you guys because I can't talk much in this session right now until we get to the review. You want me to go ahead and segue into this one then? Yes, I will love for you to be the one to segue into this, as I cannot actually talk about it as much as you guys. All right, so Pokemon Sword and Shield came out on November 15th, and the world obviously did what everybody does when a new Pokemon game comes out.
Break the street date.
Right, we break the street date. We go out and buy it. I'm never gonna order from Amazon ever again. I'm just gonna pre-order for my game. Why did you order to begin with? I did because I thought that Amazon would give you extra stuff for pre-ordering it, but they didn't. Well, they did. They gave me the Lavatar and the Jagmo-O, but I just
I
haven't
think
gotten
you
it
get
yet.
that
Well-
no matter what, though.
Yeah,
But
but
for
the
the
other
dual
thing, the other
pack-
thing is, yeah, but the other thing is, you should have done it way earlier because
Yeah.
it would have had the
Right.
bonus if you
Yeah,
I would've had the
pre-ordered, like,
Steelbook.
the second
But-
that it was available. Yeah.
Yeah,
Dill
So-
pickle. That sucks right there.
they sent the wrong version. Damn. Okay, that I didn't have it that bad. Oh my goodness. So, obviously, when the game came out, there have been some very controversial.
And
Some very controversial opinions. And one thing I thought was interesting was that the IGN and all the professional ones that normally review Pokemon games and give it an average to low score actually gave it a high score. And then we obviously know the Pokemon fan base and how it's been treating this game before it even came out. We're being very negative about it. So out of all the people in this pod right now, I think Richie, TSS, and I are the ones who have played the game. But Evie, have you played the game?
I have, yeah. But
Oh, Evie, you played the game too. Good. So we got 4 people. KG saving his experience for tomorrow when we stream it tomorrow, and
Yes.
And we're gonna be live.
we're gonna be live, baby.
So yeah,
And-
so I guess we should probably
Firefly
bring that up right now then.
Studios.
Folks, tomorrow we're actually going to do our Pokemon Sword and Shield live playthrough here on this channel. So if you haven't actually, or if you've been wondering as to where that is, there you go, folks. We're actually going to be doing a playthrough of that tomorrow. So look forward to it.
And I'm gonna go in this order. I'm gonna go Richie, then TSS, then Evie. Okay. We're gonna break this down right now. Richie, legitimately.
not here.
Here. Shit. He did say he was gonna be late. That's right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start with TSS, then Evie, then.
All right.
So TSS, how do you feel? Give me like just the blunt overall thoughts. How do you feel about this game?
Well, I'm 6. Well, I believe. Let's see. Can I actually do math? 6 badges. I've gotten six of the badges already.
Okay, so you're with me. I've got 6 as well.
I've played about 12 and a half hours of the game.
No, I have 7 badges. I need to get the 8th badge. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I'm about 12 and a half hours in, 6 badges in, and I have to say that at least at this point, I hate to say, as much as I hate to say it, I think this is the most fun that I ever had with a Pokemon game at this point.
Why would you hate to say that?
Because a lot of people say, "Oh, the game sucks." Fuck you. You don't know anything.
So why would you hate to say that then? You would be happy to say that.
Because there are people out there that's gonna be like, they're gonna watch this in like fucking 2 weeks or whatever, and they're gonna say, "What the fuck is this guy? What the fuck drugs is this guy on?"
Like you're gonna say, you're saying like the fans will view you worse.
Yeah,
because
like
you
there's gonna be somebody gonna be clipping this shit or whatever, but.
okay.
But I'm just saying, like, I hate, I hate to use that phrase, but it's like, I think if the story actually goes the way that I think it is, and I'm gonna have even more fun because I haven't had this much fun with a main series game.
I can.
It might become my favorite game.
I can say it's been a while since, I want to say about Gen 5, since I've legitimately enjoyed.
Like Black and White 2, like Black 2, I think was the last.
Yeah, Black
game
and
that
White
I
and Black and White 2
truly
were the-
enjoyed, because I will say this, it's like fuck all the Dexit people, because to be honest, this is the most diverse I've ever seen a Pokemon game. In terms of,
you want to know
like,
what kills me, TSS?
Yeah.
You want to know what kills me is that people are so upset with the decks being cut, but I've never had so much freedom on which Pokemon I can have on my team.
Yeah, and then in the random encounters you just get random stuff.
Like, usually the beginning of the
things.
game. Usually, if you want to start like catching Pokemon and make your team at the beginning of the game, because you need Pokemon for the beginning of the game.
Yeah,
your options are very like limited. You had to choose between like what the normal type rat or whatever, the flying type, and then like some random Pokemon they may have sprinkled into the routes.
Yeah.
Here you get the wild area at the gate.
Yeah, before the first gym. I had a fucking team of 6.
Nessa, I'm just gonna quote her. Nessa said that she spent hours playing the game and she didn't even get her first badge yet because she was so busy catching all the goddamn Pokemon.
When I went through the wild area the first time, I fucking spent like 90 minutes.
And
I just had like so much fun.
Exactly.
And
like
the wild area is a dangerous world out there because they don't fuck around.
Oh yeah. Those over level Pokemon will kill you.
Oh
But-
yeah. It's like, and the thing is, with the wild area, aside from obviously you can't surf on the water. The NPCs don't stop you from going to the parts where Pokemon can kick your ass.
Right. They don't. Nobody stops
they
you.
just-
You
So
go
there's
there-
like
Yeah, I mean,
no
there's
stupid
that one
trainer
guy-
like in Lumio City who's gonna say, hey, you can't go through, but
The
there's
power,
this
yeah,
lady-
the power is out. Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Once you
It's
go
like,
to the wild,
it's like okay, you come to the bridge and you see a guy there. It's like, oh, the guy's gonna stop you. Oh no, you talk to the guy. And it's like saying, there's Pokemon on there's Pokemon on the other side of the bridge. They're really powerful. You need several badges to capture it, and then he just let you go through.
right. Like
Like,
one,
well-
it's go ahead, Evie.
He's like, well, I mean, I'm not gonna stop you. If you want to go right ahead, go right ahead. Just make sure you have enough Pokédolls, which they actually have relevancy.
Yeah,
Yes.
the Pokédolls help.
The first time ever in this fucking game that Pokédoll is actually useful because you're gonna
Wait, what?
wind up. Yeah, you're gonna
Yeah.
end up. You're gonna wind up.
If you fight an
I lost my
over
brother.
level Pokemon, yeah. Normally, if you fight an over level Pokemon,
I mean-
they don't.
All right,
I mean,
what
my
if it's
brother.
so
I mean,
close,
I watched my brother play tonight. He was in the
Mhm.
wild area, and he was and what was it? It was a fucking level 56. What was it? And he wanted it. He wanted that shit. It was like a level 56 something. My brain is like not working, but it's like a level 56 Pokemon when his Pokemon are like level 35,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, hey, it's like, here's all the Pokemon that you want, but guess what? You're too high of a level, so you can't catch it.
Right, and one of the things that I liked to do, because I found a level 50 Corviknight, and my Pokemon were still in their 30s. Now, normally, you can run away from these things, obviously, with using the Pokédoll, or if you just try to run. I said, you know what? I'm gonna fight it. I'm gonna fucking fight it. The reason I decided to fight it, though, I used all of my team's abilities. I used one Pokemon to paralyze it. I used another Pokemon to lower its stats. I used another Pokemon to buff its stats, and then I finished it off, right? I was able to literally, I made my own boss fight, basically, is what I did. And
That
that's
sounds pretty badass, actually.
Yeah, that's what I did. I used because everybody on your team gains experience points if they were in the battle. So
Yes.
our reward for fighting that level 50 Pokemon, it was almost like I had a raid battle with my own team.
Yeah.
And
Imagine if there were any wild Blissey out there.
right, oh yeah, the experience points would be crazy. But and then after that, I went camping. I took my Pokemon to camp, and I gotta say, this beats Pokemon to me by like a long shot.
Yeah, it's much
And
better,
it's not
far more
broken.
interactive.
It's not broken. It does have some things where like your Pokemon can like if they would have died, they'll have 1 HP, but it's not constant enough.
I have a funny story for the camping.
It's not
because I
like
was into
KG.
camping.
It's not like KG's situation where he pet his Pokemon once and it was sucked out the poison in its body and shit.
Yeah, well, I'll say this. I was actually playing the camp today, and there's actually some funny glitches. Like, for example, I have Corviknight, right?
Mhm.
And
Right.
I was shaking around that feather
toy.
thing, the feather toy thing, and then what was happening was Corviknight was in front, and then you just see Raichu in the back trying to run towards me, but he's getting fucking stuck behind Corviknight. Couldn't fucking move.
Oh
It
my
was
god.
stuck there for like 30 seconds.
I saw one.
There
I saw
were a lot
somebody's.
of great memes with that.
Yeah, I saw one where like Gardevoir and this like hat Pokemon. That's a late. They're both female.
Yeah.
They both started they started smacking each other. Like,
And there was
Oh,
another-
wasn't
and
that
there
where
was
the
another
bunny
one.
shows up and then he's like, "Hey, don't look at them, look at me."
And there was
yeah,
another one, and there was another one where you just see Gengar just fucking jump in the air,
Yeah, he
disappear, and it
teleports
comes
and
down
he
and fucking
falls.
falls.
But the noise effect, like,
Right, and there's one where well, when I was camping, for some reason my Vanillite would love to race other Pokemon. Like, it would challenge other Pokemon to a race. I'm like, you're a floating ice cream cone. What do you have to prove? So just the joy of your Pokemon just being there. Like, this feels like I'm on a journey. Like, it feels like I'm actually traveling.
It's really fun because, as people have noticed, and as we're going to talk about, the wild encounters. Wow, I mean, they're so animated, and plus, if you have a really fast Pokemon coming
say
after
that
you,
word.
like I fucking like if you run into a fucking sock, that motherfucker can run.
Oh yeah, Sarina fucking hauls
Why are
ass.
you running?
Why are you running? So Evie, I wanted to get into this with you too. How was your experience with Sword and Shield?
Well, unlike you guys, I haven't really progressed much into the game.
That's fine.
Yeah, so right now I'm on Route 3, but
Mm-hmm.
because I'm back home and life as a college student, I'm probably not going to progress much throughout the next few coming weeks. But from my in terms of first impressions, I'm really enjoying this game. Honestly, like I haven't had like I don't know why, like it reminds me of me when I was. It reminds me of from when I was playing Diamond and Pearl. I'm not comparing the two games, but it's more so my experience. It's like
Right.
Yeah.
I haven't had this much fun on the first steps of the game in quite a while, because the game itself is actually quite that much fun, and especially when you get into the wild area for the first time, where you're given the opportunity to catch all these Pokemon in these different areas, right? And the challenges. The early challenges that they offer up on this so early into the game, I'm a sucker for challenges, and I crave it when it comes to video games. So
I think you're gonna really appreciate the gym challenges too when you start going towards them, because it's not just a simple you fight a couple of trainers puzzle. They're actually pretty unique ways of using the gym challenge.
Yeah.
I like
the gym challenges are some of the most creative that I've ever seen.
Weirdly enough, they're more creative to me than the trials that were in Sun and Moon.
Oh yeah, it's like a billion times fucking better.
The dumb part is that the Sun and Moon game was based around the trial idea, where we take out gym battles and you solve like a puzzle, whereas this feels more like a puzzle than the trials.
Well, unfortunately, you no longer had to press A to pound.
No.
Okay, but all right. Look, going back to the wild area topic, I do have a little shameful confession to make.
What?
My entire team was actually swept by a Stuffle that actually hit its rollouts.
Damn.
Oh shit.
Hey, that happens.
That's the other thing. The game is not afraid to kick your ass.
Oh no, this game did exactly what I thought it would do when Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu came out. It's like, now that we got the easy game out the way, let's fucking lock down and play some real Pokemon, because these gym leaders are not far behind you.
Can I actually talk real quick on this one?
Go ahead.
Okay, I heard stories about how Pokemon moves are brutal this time around for early mods.
Beginning Pokemon start off with Water Pulse and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pikachu has fucking Electro Ball.
Yeah, Terrell said Pikachu had Electro Ball on it.
Yeah, early in the game, you do see some Pokemon already having these
70 power moves.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Pokemon, they did that because they wanted to carve out those bullshit weak moves.
Which I like, because I love me a challenge video games.
Yeah.
All right.
And also some of the trainers they're fucking meta.
Yeah, a lot more NPCs are using potions on their Pokemon too.
Oh, and other things like fucking strategy. Like one trainer uses fucking Focus Sash. Like, what the fuck?
Honestly, I never thought that I would use so many potions so early in the game already.
You became the gym leader with the full restores.
There's so many times where I wanted to go, I had to go back into town just to stock up on super potions to go right back into the wild area.
It's that brutal?
Yeah, about a few encounters in the wild area, I literally had to run back to the nearest NPC/Pokemon Center just to recover on my Pokemon. When it comes to using items, I can tend to be a little bit conservative. But it's kind of crazy because 1 minute you're out of the Pokemon Center, and then 5 minutes you had to run back.
There is a situation. Oh, and also the diversity in fashion is way better than X and Y, because X and Y was the first game that let you buy clothes, whereas this game lets you buy clothes, but there is a possibility you can be broke because you spend all your money on fucking clothes.
Fucking $6,000.
I remember John's first tweet was, "I have no money for Pokeballs because I spent all my money on an Arcanine shirt."
It's you're a trainer out there, you're out there in the world, and you gotta make smart decisions out there.
Right, so it's like real life, and it's so great. And I think ironically, I love how everyone fact that there'd be less Pokemon in this game. But the ironic part is that since the wild area is open to you at the gate, your team can literally consist of almost any combination of 6 Pokemon. It's kind of crazy how cutting the decks ironically made your team more diverse.
Yeah.
Because there's no trainers. I haven't ran into a lot of NPCs that have repeat Pokemon on their team.
Also, somebody says $6,000 for a pair of skinny jeans. Really?
Yes,
right.
it's $6,000 for skinny jeans. It's like $18,000 to buy a uniform.
Damn.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, somebody says there's a reason we were giving G-Max Meowth as an early mystery gift. Oh, that would explain.
Oh, because of the payday. Yeah, the payday.
Also, I like
You know
how
what?
Inuyama Inuko has finally made it into a fucking game, and I'm so happy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some of the Galarian forms are really good. I love the fact that some of the Galarian forms.
Neckbeard.
All right.
Oh,
So,
God.
don't you guys think it's kind of crazy? You know, you see all these flying Pokemon flying into the air, right? You know, you have a Butterfree. You also have like Corviknight, right? I see this like, you know, because initially I thought that, well, I guess I'm supposed to be sitting on top of it just so I could face it in the wild battle. But no, you actually had to call in the whistle, and
they'll fly down towards you. Yeah,
they fly down towards you. Yeah, which actually the whistle feature has been pretty useful for me so far.
It also helps if you want to attract the Pokemon that you're trying to find.
I love how creative some of these Pokemon are with how you evolve them too. Like the evolution conditions are.
I heard Farfetch was super stupid. I didn't know the full explanation on it, so
do you
don't
care
let me
about
know.
spoilers?
No. I don't want to know about that stuff. Actually,
I was saying I can tell you how to evolve Farfetch.
Okay, I've seen leaks. I've seen like the Pokemon designs and everything, but I actually stopped at a point where I think I might have only seen maybe some like 60% of the Pokemon, which is weird. So there are still some new ones I might not know much about. At least from what I'm aware of anyway. But I do not know about some of the Pokemon, and I do not know about the gym leaders. The gym leaders are still a mystery for me.
Oh my goodness, that is another thing, and I posted this on Twitter too. They kept real quiet about the Galarian decks. Like the ones they introduced to us was only touching the surface.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
The Pokemon that are available in Galar, like, oh my god, I still feel like to this day I'm still meeting new Pokemon that I've never seen before.
Yeah.
And you know what? Actually, kudos to the Pokemon Company. And Game Freak as well for actually, not revealing too much before the release date.
Yes.
To this game, I've been very satisfied.
See, and that's what I know. You guys kept making fun of me about it, but that's the reason that I kept like cringing my teeth when I like would see a potential spoiler or a leak or something, because it's like I want to be surprised, and this game delivers. Every time I look, there's a Pokemon I never heard of, some weird evolution or something. Some Pokemon I look at. Or a Galarian form. Yeah, these Galarian forms are crazy. I look up and it's to this day, I still feel like there's a new experience for me just waiting.
So you've never seen or encountered a lot of these mons. In fact, maybe like all of them, right? Like aside from the ones that they revealed, right?
Yeah, when they even when they leaked, I stayed away from the roster. So when I played this game, I was thoroughly impressed by the new Pokemon that I kept seeing. And kudos to James Turner. I'm sorry that people are mean. I like the
Japanese. Some Japanese people are saying, "Oh, James Turner shit," all this stuff. No.
What? No, I like his designs. There's only out of all the Pokemon I've seen so far, there's only 2 that I'm like about. But the rest,
Apple.
Oh yeah. I'm not digging the apple. I'm sorry. I get it. I get the idea.
Who?
And this is weird.
What was his name?
I know they made Pokemon based off food before. Hell, I have Vanillite on my team, for Christ's sakes. But something about the apple just bugs me. I guess it's because the idea that most Pokemon, when they're based off food, I think the Pokemon shows off more and the food idea goes around it. Where this thing is literally the food, and then the Pokemon is like, oh yeah, there's a Pokemon on this piece of food.
Oh, Cramorant. Okay, I got.
I have a damn apple for you. Oh yeah,
Cramorant. I like Cramorant. He's pretty
Cramorant. No, I faced a Cramorant.
What was Cramorant?
The fucking
pelican with the fish in its mouth.
Yeah, but you know what the thing is? If it uses dive, like it used dive while I was facing it, and it was the ground, right? It
Mhm.
dove into the ground, attacked me, and had a Pikachu in its mouth, spit it at me, and I got paralyzed.
Oh my god!
Wait, that could
what?
paralyze you?
That's awesome.
It fucking grabbed it dove into the ground and fucking grabbed the Pikachu in its mouth.
So I thought that was just a hack that somebody did. It
No.
can literally have
No,
Pikachu in
it
its
can
mouth.
happen. It happened. It
fucking
happened to me.
hilarious.
Look, if you look at the sprite, you will sometimes see that Pokemon with a Pikachu in his mouth as a sprite.
That's fucking
Wait,
hilarious.
really? That level of detail is insane.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Poor
you see,
Pikachu.
yeah, because Pikachu's like in there, you just see the fucking the tail out and the like half of its body, like a quarter of its body sticking out.
Poor Pikachu. What did it do to deserve that?
Yeah.
Well, who knows? Well, hey, at least it's useful in battle.
Well, yeah, and then that fish. I thought that fish was just a piece of I thought that fish was part of Crimmer. No, that's a Pokemon. That is its own Pokemon that
And,
evolves and everything.
It's a very strong Pokemon.
If it evolves
you know,
into its final form, yeah.
There's a final form for it?
Yes.
I've never
It's-
seen that.
it's
That's one of the
KG.
new mons then.
KG, think about it. It's like remember Remoraid?
Yes.
Remoraid and Mantike, how Remoraid and Mantike, if they're together, they turn into Mantine. But Remoraid can also evolve into Octillery. It's
Yes.
like that. It's like that.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Or like Slowpoke and Shelder, but Shelder can evolve into Cloyster. It's sort of that symbiotic relationship situation.
Damn,
Yeah.
that sounds really badass. Holy shit.
Yeah. So it's one of those situations. These designs, I'm sorry, James Turner, that people are mean because I like them. I said, there's only two.
Majority of them are good.
Yeah, these are really good looking Pokemon. Like,
Well, I'm not sure if it has anything to do with the with James Turner being outside of Japan has anything to do with this.
this is the same situation with the Unova region stuff where people were shitting on it because it was different. Like,
to be honest,
the community bugs me because they always get mad when you resort to doing the same old thing. When they resort to doing the same old, people go, oh, this is so unoriginal, blah, blah, blah. But when they finally do something original, people are like, oh, this is so ugly. It's like, well, then what the fuck do you want me to do? Like, what can I do? What do you do then? If you make something original, then it looks ugly. But if you make something fucking the same or based off, like, if we did the Gen 4 route where all the Pokemon just evolve forms of other Pokemon that exist, then people go, oh, Pokemon's unoriginal.
Yes.
Yeah, well.
No pleasing everybody.
But I will say this: I am enjoying the story.
Yeah,
and
I'm liking the story too. I am liking
the cinematics as well has been looking pretty good.
Yes.
Oh my god, yeah, the cut scenes. Like, I know people are shitting on the animation and it's not gonna be First of all, it's a Pokemon game. It's not gonna be on the same level as fucking Dark Souls or some shit.
The only issue I have really is the blurring of the shadows. Like the shadows are some weird effects when you move.
I chalk that up to its Pokemon, and that's one of the things they need to improve.
Yeah, they have to fix the engine.
Right there, what you did, TSS, that's called constructive criticism. That's not
Yes.
you
I don't
saying,
like that. Go
that's not TSS going, these shadows are fucking garbage. Pokemon's bullshit. It's never going to get better. Like, no, that's not constructive. That's him being... that's him being mean.
Yeah, but here it's like I can say that, okay, if they don't, that has to do with just issues with the engine. I'm pretty sure a patch can iron that out. But the other thing I want to note is that in terms of playing it on handheld versus playing it on I almost said the PC, right? Emulate and use it, right? No,
right, that's
playing it docked. If you play it in handheld, the resolution drops significantly when you go outside.
Huh.
Yes, because you see a lot more. The aliasing effect is a lot more pronounced when you're in handheld mode when you go on the outside.
I played it in handheld mode for the first hour and a half because I was outside of the house when I first played it. But then by the time I got home, I played it docked, and that's the only way I've been playing since.
Yeah, I've been playing it docked pretty much.
One of the things now here's where I get to the constructive criticism half of what I want to say. You guys, I guess, can go into your thoughts to jump on top of it. I will say this. Now, while I had a lot of fun playing online, I played online, which is weird because you normally play online after you're done with the game. I played online to talk with Terrell and Nessa and Richie. We did a couple of raid battles. And because we can communicate with each other via Discord, it's actually a little bit more fun because we can talk to each other. But that part's fun. The problem, though, is that in the wild area, if you turn your Wi-Fi on, get ready for some frame drops.
So it's kind of like the MMO RPG come to life.
Yeah, because the problem is that what it's doing is that
synchronize.
it's trying to process a lot of trainers in the wild area at the same time. So it gets kind of wonky. And I'm sure you guys have already seen this on Twitter where people are walking across the invisible bridge.
Yeah. Also, not to mention that there was a severe bug with the netcode for Pokemon Sword and Shield, and that is if you have any Roku device and you have if you have it on the same network as Sword and Shield while you are running it, it will actually crash the Roku because it's sending too much data. It's actually interfering with the packets.
Now,
I will say, or whatever.
I will say the online interface of this, how they're handling the wild area, because it still needs work. I feel like it still needs work. There is some good ways to help, though. You can filter it out so it only puts the friends, so it only exceeds so that it's just the friends and not everybody at once. That helps it a lot. That brings a lot less tension on it. And it is easy to access. At first, Terrell and I were confused on how to get it to work. But once we talked with Nessa and Richie and we went over it a little bit, we were able to actually get some good, fun raid battles going and stuff like that. I think one of the biggest things that needs to happen, though, this does need to be patched. This definitely needs to be patched.
Of course.
I heard about the issues with the autosave feature where apparently it can corrupt.
I haven't had an issue with that.
No, it's apparently with the digital version.
And also, I heard that was with the Japanese stuff too.
No, actually, the real thing is it has to do with people. Well, digital version, but also people that have either homebrew or memory cards that are formatted to exFAT, which is anything that's above 32 gigabytes. And plus, it will only corrupt data on the SD card. Since the saves are stored on the console, it doesn't matter. So your save games won't be gone, but it will corrupt your memory card if you're in certain conditions.
Shit, then I have to pay attention because I have like a 128 gigabyte.
The SD card.
Just turn off autosave, and that's it.
Okay,
I can do that before I even start the game, right?
Also, I don't have any problem because the SD card I'm using for my Switch is only for the Switch. I'm not using it for any other purposes.
It's because of a Nintendo Switch's SD card driver.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Now I will say this: while it is nice,
yes, the music's good too.
Oh my god, the music's amazing.
But go on, Evie.
Go on, Evie.
Yeah, now I will say that the autosave feature is nice to know, but I would still prefer to manually save.
Yes.
Because especially when, of course, when you got like, of course, like a huge challenge ahead of you, right? Or, say like, like you encounter a shiny, for example. You might want to save game in case things go wrong. I'm not too open to the idea of the game having to autosave for you, especially on cases where you don't want your game to save.
I think Evie has a good point too, because this is another situation where it's like old habits die hard. I remember in Pokemon, the recent ones, Pokemon Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon, they save so fast. Sometimes I look away and forget if I saved the game or not.
Yeah.
So I just save it again. So I think that's just an old habits die hard situation where even if they gave us autosave, it's kind of common knowledge at this point to just manually save it. It's a Pokemon game. That's what you do. You go in the Pokemon Center, you save.
Yeah, and the reason why a lot of people do that is because if people remember playing Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2, in order to access your box from the Game Boy games, you have to save in the Pokemon Center. Otherwise, the game says, you got to save at the Pokemon Center.
And another thing I do want to point out, I'm actually enjoying the British dialogue for this game.
Yes.
Yeah, it feels comfortable too. Like it doesn't feel out of place.
First thing you notice, your mom is literally called
Mum.
Yeah, they spell it M-U-M instead of M-O-M.
Yeah.
Your mum.
The music, you guys want to talk about that?
Oh my god, I like the wild battle theme the most, and I think they kind of knew that the wild battle theme should be catchier because you're gonna meet more wild Pokemon in this game than you are.
The main gym challenge theme. Come on, that's a classic.
Oh well, that's my favorite song in the game.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, I heard the gym battle. We heard the gym battle theme long before we heard.
Everything else.
Still a banger.
Yeah, I like I'm getting used to Team Yell's theme songs. Like I like them. I know it's rock music, but it's actually really like I have nothing against rock music. It's just I never was like I could never imagine rock music in a Pokemon game.
Then you've Black and White too.
Well, yeah, I mean like rock, like I don't know, I don't know. It's just in Black and White too. What rock music were they using?
Well, it was was it Roxy's gym?
Oh well, yeah, that's because I knew what I was getting. Her gym is that's the theme. But like fighting Team Yell and just having to hear that consistent like guitar going dun, 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 I was like, well, this is in a Pokemon game.
Not to mention that on Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, you did have the Wally theme before you enter the Pokemon League.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was a good hard rock. Mm-hmm. But yeah, oh my goodness, there's a lot of things just music wise. I love. Now I know this is gonna be weird. I want to talk about Hop just for a second. Well, I don't want to get too far into Hop though, because I want KG to sort of experience.
Yeah.
Because I want him to experience the rivals, because the rivals are actually pretty interesting here.
Yes.
Yeah, so not too much spoilers, please.
Hop is like what would happen if Hal got a very well needed upgrade on his character development.
Really now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Hop's like what happened if they said, "Oh, we see Hal, let's make Hal better."
Well, it's that easy, isn't it?
Because a lot of the rivals in the game normally, like a lot of rivals in most games, well, the good rivals like Trace and all the other rivals that are nice, they had this bad habit of being too nice and not much else out of it. Whereas the minute you start the game, Hop is like giving you shit because he already has a Pokemon of his own. He's just cockier about it. So there's this level of respect you have for him because he doesn't bend to your very whim like all the other nice rivals. There's actually a character glued to this person who's always smiling. He's not like Howard. It's like, I'm nice and I like malasadas. Let's be friends. I'm like, die, How. Die.
Damn.
Die. But yeah, like the game is good, which is that's the weird like
story.
That's the weird story of it all because it's just so controversial to what everybody else has been saying up to this point on a game they didn't even know, like they didn't get to play yet. And I think out of all the problems they were picking at, they didn't pick at the number one problem and problem that you can only experience while playing. Did you have fun?
And the answer to that is a resounding yes.
Yes, that's the answer. Because every time I hear about Pokemon Pokemon Sword and Shield before it came out, people were talking about stuff like, the graphics are this, the animation, they're using reused models, blah, 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 technical errors, blah, blah. I heard all of these things, but they never answered, are you having fun? Because now that I stopped to think about it, when is a
game could have the shittiest graphics in the world, but as long as it's fun, it doesn't matter.
There you go, exactly. TSS. Remember back in the day when everybody kept shitting on Legend of Zelda Wind Waker because it looked so cartoony compared to all the hardcore fucking 3D, almost realistic people that were shooting each other in the gray and brown colors and blah, blah. This is gaming.
And yeah, it gets to the point where life has to step in and let you know that, you don't always judge things based on you don't always judge things based on the cover.
Right. So then, yeah, everybody was shitting on it, and now look, Legend of Zelda Wind Waker got a remake. It got a remake, and then it was praised so well for how fun it was and all of those other. But people kept giving it shit when it came out. Why? Because it just didn't look real enough. Its graphics weren't hardcore enough. This is a kiddie game. Blah 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 blah. I'm like. When has Pokemon really truly cared about its graphics enough to the point where it has to be on par with fucking Call of Duty?
Also, I will have to say, you're going to play through the game, and there are certain, and this game breaks the fucking fourth wall, and I love it.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, I love the attention to detail that a lot of things happen to this game, too. I love the little things, too, just the little things like we talked about. I know there's an option where you can, if you go into the options menu, I always switch mine to set, just so that they don't announce what Pokemon they're going to choose first before they choose it. There's also a mode, I believe, where you can choose where, I'm trying to think. Oh, you can choose how fast you want the text to go. I think that's been in Pokemon though.
Yeah,
It has been, yeah.
Yeah,
For
and then
years now.
yeah, and then there's also an option where you can skip the cutscene. So if you don't want to even watch, you can do that. And yeah, just the freedom you have. Oh, this other thing. Let's say you want to use items on a Pokemon. You can stack the items on top of each other, so you won't have to keep going back to the menu and using the item over. You can just you want to use this item on the Pokemon? Yes. How many of this item do you want to use on the Pokemon?
And speaking of items, whenever you get a new item or TM, it comes up as on the status on the fucking screen.
It gives you a small description of what the item does.
Yeah, so you don't have to fucking go to the menu.
Yeah.
So you don't have to go to the menu to check what the fucking thing does.
That's really cool.
Now I know what a sack of potatoes are then. Finally.
Yay! Also, the Pokeball has its own bag section again.
Yes.
They took that out, and Gen 2 had it, and then in Gen 3 they just they stopped, and then I don't know why they did that. But yeah, it's got its own Pokeball section again, so I'm glad for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this game.
Also, Pokemon can go to work. And I love that.
I sent a couple of Pokemon to work. They bring back some pretty cool stuff, like mostly experience points and money and stuff.
Sounds like a gacha game. Not gacha game. Well, I guess in a way a gacha game. They do have like those daily mission kind of things.
Yeah.
For some missions there's a 24-hour period. Like
that's some of it. Like right now with Azure Lane, they have like these like routine missions where you have to shoot some characters out and then they come back home with items and EXP on it. Something like that. So I guess they're implementing stuff like that from the games into the home console, which I think could still function properly given how many Pokemon exist in this game, and you would like to.
I'll tell you this much:
strike a balance.
Playing a main series Pokemon game on the fucking big screen TV is really fucking good.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah,
it's an amazing experience. For the people complaining about the graphics, okay, here we go. We have a full-fledged main series Pokemon game on your TV, and you just get immersed.
Well, I mean, think about this. 10 years ago, people have been wanting it. They've been wanting this. But
because ever since fucking Battle Revolution, people wanted the real
they've been bitching about it, and they've been bitching about it 10 years ago, and up to now they're still bitching about it.
Yeah, because it's not their game.
Right.
But to consider that, I'm a person who doesn't normally enjoy playing the games that much as any other person. Like my older brother, he is a hardcore game player.
Mm-hmm.
He does everything, and he is enjoying the game. And if I say it's one of the only times that me and my own brother can agree that this game is actually pretty fucking good. Like I'm really enjoying it. It's like I don't really have much in the way of complaints about it outside graphically. I think the story is well. The selection of Pokemon is fantastic. The number of items and the fact that you have those items and what they do, more diverse sets of items that you can actually use, and even more items that you can pick up, and you can even pick up you can even pick up items in the town, which I don't think is done before. I don't think it has ever been done.
And you don't really need an item finder or something similar.
No, it just shines on the ground and that's it.
This game really promotes exploration too. Like if you go off the beat, even if you're outside of the wild, but when you go back into like towns and routes and stuff, it doesn't stay linear. It still rewards you for venturing off into different areas on the route or in town.
I also like how you could already get to the move tutor and the name writer early in the game.
Oh yeah, it's everywhere, and it's every center.
Yeah, every Pokemon Center has a move raider. It has a name raider,
a move relearner, and a move deleter.
Yeah, they're all in one spot,
which is so convenient because when you want to head to those options, you have to remember who those NPCs are and where they're located, right? It saves so much time.
Right, because they're
I believe Game Freak did this because they wanted to make this a competitive game, and they want people to play the game quickly, build up their team, and then you go and you fight online.
And some
whatever.
moves have changed to work for the meta. Like rapid spin usually only just allowed you a hazard. Now it increases your Pokemon speed in addition to that.
So they've like tweaked up a lot of the moves now?
Yes, some of the moves are like
Move Relearner is fucking free now. No fucking heart scales.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, love this. This means you're useless now, but
is it even in the game?
Meteor. Draco Meteor got buffed, by the way.
Yeah, Draco Meteor did get a buff.
What?
Yeah.
And my brother was also saying that Pokemon that were really strong in their own generation games are now fucking weak because it's like so much there's so much more Pokemon diversity that it really makes you think.
They toned down the overpowered Pokemon.
What a wonderful world.
I will say this, now that I brought the name later, and this is kind of a minor thing, which one of the downsides of this game. I'm kind of disappointed that they didn't expand the amount of characters you can nickname your Pokemon.
How much is it still? 15,
is
16?
Is it still the 15 or 12 or whatever?
I believe it's still 14.
14?
From what my friends told me.
I mean, I think it's just that to keep it like 14.
Well, and also because
are you really naming your Pokemon a 15-letter?
Well, the other thing is, do you really want to label or name a Pokemon like fucking 45 characters and cause the game to crash? No.
Yes. Okay.
I'm cool with 14. And to me, 14 is almost a little bit overwhelming.
Like I said, it's just a minor downside for me, but of course it's not going to take away from course, just how this game has been for all of us so far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can say right now, I have 7 badges, and my Pokemon right now are in and this is just, but the Pokemon that I'm fighting, I'm sorry, I should say the Pokemon I'm fighting. The Pokemon I'm fighting are in their mid-level, they're mid-40s. They're mid to late 40s. I'm not even at the league yet. So that means that at the league, I'm expecting to see level late level 50, mid to late level 50. Which is really high, considering the fact that when you usually make it to a Pokemon league, the Pokemon are around 50.
And also, this game will punish you if you try to speed through the game.
The gym leaders.
No, not the gym leaders. No, not the gym lead. Not just the gym leaders. The fucking wild Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
The wild Pokemon. Like I came out of the 5th gym. My Pokemon were in the mid to late 30s. I was already hitting Pokemon that were level 40.
Damn.
Yeah. So, it's like I said, it's literally, damn nature, you're scary.
Yeah.
Well, time to make nature less scary. I'm gonna have to massacre every last one of them just to get through my next time.
I was gonna say that also though. There is a risk to level grinding.
Really?
If you level grind too much, remember your Pokemon all gain experience at once. So it is possible that you could be dangerously stronger than your competition.
Oh, so you risk the fun factor if you become a little too strong.
You can still level grind, but I wouldn't level grind to I think they did this to prevent people from level grinding too long. Because back then, you had, if let's say you caught a new Pokemon. If you caught a new Pokemon, the problem was that you had to catch that Pokemon up with everybody else. Here, since the entire team gains the experience points at once, it makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah, I think I do want to. There is another thing I do want to ask you, Tyrone and TSS.
Yeah.
Because I still haven't gone into the gyms just yet, but when you do defeat a gym, does it still have the the benefits Pokemon level this and that will now follow your command, right?
Yes.
Yes. Correct.
Okay.
In fact, if anything, it means that in the wild area, let's say you met Manchoke. You can't catch the Manchoke because its level's too high. But if you beat 4 gyms, then by that time they'll say you can catch Pokemon at this level now.
And Tyrone, this comes with your points of being a little bit cautious in training your Pokemon. Not only does it take away the fun factor, but of course the level requirements for commanding your Pokemon will also take place if you're not paying too much attention to your Pokemon's level.
Correct. Yes. But yeah, so So yeah, because if for some I know it sucks when you meet a strong Pokemon and you can't catch it because its level's too high, but they did that to balance the game out, so you don't just catch so that the RNG doesn't come in. You catch like a level 70 Pokemon and cheese through the rest of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you know what? I like that strategy. I think that works a lot better.
I think that's fine. I mean, yeah, that doesn't bug me because at that point, the Pokemon that you have on your team are the ones that you're mainly. You shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Super powerful Pokemon to cheese you through the game. And if anything, it also shows the relevancy that the gym badges have. Because now the gym badges actually have purpose.
Yeah, they mean something, yeah.
Yeah, like now that you have them, you can actually catch stronger Pokemon. You feel yourself becoming stronger now.
Yes.
Yeah. But overall, I guess because we still got an anime to talk about.
Oh, hold on. Let me just go into... Oh, I guess you're going to want to talk about the anime then?
I would say I was just gonna.
This one will wrap this up.
Yeah, let's just wrap it up. So overall, you guys, TSS, Eevee, what do you guys just? It's a good game.
Very good for first impressions overall.
Yes, I think this is good.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, 12 and a half hours into the game. I'm probably going to get into post game maybe the next 8 hours or so.
Oh yeah, I want to talk just real briefly. I want to talk about how many hours I to this game.
Yeah, please tell me. How much time have you already put into this game?
I'm almost 20 hours in. I've been playing so much of it because it's so good.
You know what? Let me actually check how much hours I put in so far.
And you, TSS?
Yeah, like I said, 12 and a half hours. Like I said, it's the most fun that I've ever had with a Pokemon game, a main series Pokemon game, and I just want to keep on playing it. And it doesn't frustrate me. It's really fun.
And this is the first game in its generation. Normally, the first game in its generation is hard to like. It's got to pick up a little bit, and then when the sequels or whatever enhancements come out, that's when it gets better. Go ahead, EB.
Yeah, so I am on, as I mentioned before, I am on Route 3, and I'm 4 hours in.
Okay, yeah, that sounds about right. It takes about 4 hours to get.
Quick question then, guys.
Yay.
Yeah.
Now, with raid battles, I'm curious.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have higher raid battles, I assume, correct?
I haven't.
The raid battles.
I haven't tried one.
I've tried them. The raid battles can range from anywhere to 2 to 5 stars. Well, 1 to 5 stars.
Go on.
Yes, this EKG. This means that even if you started the game up, you can wind up in a raid battle with a fucking 5-star Pokemon.
No, that's not what I was gonna say. Is it possible by some chance, say I end up in your room, and that 5-star Pokemon appears, will I actually get the chance to catch it as well?
I have not tried catching outside of my level. I only have been catching Pokemon within my range. I think what the game does as a balancing mechanic, it rounds out what your Pokemon are, and then scales it up to that when someone tries to find a raid battle. Because what you do is that when you click on the raid, it's like, would you like to start a raid? Yes. Invite people? Yes. And then when it says invite people, if no one else joins immediately, then it will choose for random people for you. And I think what it's doing is that it's going to choose those people that best level scale whatever you're fighting.
I hear you can join your rooms with friends, correct?
Yes, that's what I did with Nessa. Nessa had a raid and I joined. There's a filter that says friends only.
Oh, somebody says that I played with somebody that had 3 stars and caught one.
Okay, cool.
So that means I can actually get a chance of catching a 5-star in my first run.
Yeah, you might be able to.
No, it's because like if I die, you guys are already overpowered, so you guys can do the work for me, and I'll just catch it at the end. Is what's going on here.
I think
that is also interesting.
I think there's also a chance that the Pokemon can break out of the Pokeball too.
No, but I'm saying, hey, look, pure chance, man. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, pretty much.
I really want, like, when I get a chance to stream this tomorrow, I really want to try to like experience the raid battles with you guys. See how that.
I can definitely do a raid battle.
Sure.
And Tyrone, since you're the only one that's done raid battles, is it as challenging as people say?
It's pretty challenging until someone. Now this is one of the downsides. It chooses at random sometimes, so you might wind up with a partner that's vastly stronger than your other partners,
or
can
you
wipe out the Gigantamax Pokemon with one hit.
Or you get people with or if they get like random drawn people that have weird ass Pokemon, like you'll
That
have
you haven't seen before, yeah.
or not only that, it's like or it's just like really bad. Like my brother was facing a Dynamax freaking Lantern, and there was fucking somebody had a Pikachu, somebody had a Jolteon, another one had a fucking Wishy-Washy, another one had a Togepi. Like what the fuck?
Terrell and I unfortunately ran into a situation. There was a legendary Pokemon we haven't seen yet, and it would have been spoilers. The person caught it already and used it in the raid battle, so we unfortunately got to see it. Yeah. So that's a downside. I wasn't paying it much attention because I was fighting, but yeah, I saw it. So yeah, that can happen. Who gets the Dynamax? I don't know. I think that's dependent on who starts the raid.
Who starts the raid? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's who starts the raid. So they're the ones that have the power to do that.
The control,
so.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it's a fun experience. It's especially going to be fun with us because we all just talk on Discord and we know each other. So we're gonna be having live commentary in our Dynamax battles.
Nice. That sounds like a lot of fun.
That's why I was so upset. It was like, KG, I'm so upset you're not in this raid battle with the Washi that me, Richie, and Nessa and Terrell had to do, because we were like, this is all your fucking fault, KG.
I actually read a text online that says something about don't kill or catch Pokemon too much or otherwise they'll disappear. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, it said don't catch all the complete the sea life. I was like, KG. And then right after that, we fought the giant Wish-Wash. I'm like, this is all your fault.
Oh man, I can't wait to try it out. Yeah, I've been holding on this game because I really wanted to stream it and really kind of experience that game firsthand, you know.
Yeah, you're gonna be in for some good times here.
It's a really fun experience. Like I said, it's like,
this is a great first impression for Gen 8 to me.
Yes, and you know what? It makes me excited. Now I'm excited to play this game, and now we're gonna talk about the anime, which I'm also excited about. 10 years, first time in 10 years.
Oh yeah, we're talking about first good impressions. I think we're also in agreement that the first episode also put up.
This is a really great weekend for Pokemon.
Indeed.
Yes.
Okay, so if you don't mind, folks, just give me a bit of time. I'm going to get that thing set up. So until then, given that I have this opportunity, I'm going to have this thing play out for me real quick, and then we'll be right back. So let's get at it then, folks.
All right.
I'll be right back after these messages.
Yeah, because literally, if you don't have ad block, you do have the ad break apparently that they have now. So I'm gonna go and set this up right now as we prepare things up.
All right,
I'm gonna grab myself another drink of water.
Yeah, so go grab a drink real quick then, guys. We got like a minute.
Yes.
All right, perfect. So let me go get this set up. Now then, let's see how to work this thing. So I'm just very happy to hear that you guys have had a lot of fun, though, nonetheless.
Yeah, of course. This teaches a lesson to not let don't let what the community say deteriorate your experience of what you enjoy and what you like. Like, at least give something a chance first before you crap all over it.
Yeah. So let me see. Let me just make sure everything's running fine. Okay, everything's.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to you playing it tomorrow. I'm excited to watch you play the game. That's how good the game is.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see what I can do with this game.
As you mentioned this before too, is that it has tons of replayability. I bought Sword and Shield, so I'm actually excited to play the Sword version.
Oh yeah, and it is different. I mean, my brother has Shield, and it's like different.
Yeah, diversity in gym leaders and Pokemon.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. So, I think we should be back now, at least from what I'm seeing here. All right, then. So, hey, folks, we are back. Our buddy Evie went to actually go grab a drink real quick. I'm curious to see how KG's going to break the game, though. I'm curious, too. I highly doubt I can break this game. I think the game already breaks itself, so I think it did its job.
He'll figure it out. Don't worry. KG's destroyed plenty of region.
All right, then. So, you guys ready, then, to go and move on into our next session, then?
Yeah, let's do it.
Alright then, so ladies and gentlemen, as you guys already know, aside from the release of the new Pokemon games, being of Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield, to coincide with that release, an anime also decided to begin its journey into the next generation as well. Well, not really actually, because the new series is titled, well, Pocket Monsters. Yeah, it's literally just Pocket Monsters this time around. And this entire series is structured in a way that's going to be far different from what we've encountered throughout the many generations prior. And of course, many changes are going to be coming for the anime series, as we've already seen from the previews and the episode summaries, and even the way they're handling it via social media. Before we actually get to the episode itself, let's just talk about the mere fact as to how this anime is even being handled right now. As you guys already know, on Twitter, there is this anti-poke PR that's going on right now that pretty much uploads images and little tweets every now and then to remind you folks as to when episodes are going to come out, new summaries, hell, even new pictures that won't even be until 2020. That's how far we got with these episode titles. And then, of course, the big change that really surprised me yesterday was the first Pokemon episode of Pocket Monsters. Yes, Pocket Monsters 2019 is actually uploaded officially, unblocked by the way, on YouTube, meaning any person worldwide can go and watch the official first episode of the Pocket Monsters TV series right then and there. Of course, there are no subs, but it is still a great step in the right direction that really caught me off guard, you know. So
Yeah.
it is something I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about with you guys, see what you guys have to say about it. And, you know, before we actually get into the episode in itself, like, what do you guys think about the whole new direction that they're trying to go at with this now?
You know, I personally like it, especially, back in the X and Y days, you know, the series that brought everyone together, right? You know, a lot of them have been pretty comfortable watching this series without subtitles, so I think getting the opportunity to watch the episodes on YouTube now, I think it's a really great opportunity for, you know, for the people not wanting to go to those
Illegal streaming services.
illegal streams, yeah, and of course the illegal anime sites where you get to watch your anime. So, you know, I think this approach to getting to having to upload these episodes, and I believe they're going to do this every week for each episode, correct?
Well, we do not know in regards to that part. The thing
I
that
don't
really
know,
caught me
but-
off guard was that the way they handled the thumbnail for it is that they made like a custom thumbnail in terms of like the text for episode 1 and whatnot, which really made me think that it's like, okay, is this going to be their new approach, that they're going to actually upload videos onto YouTube? Because I really want to talk about this before I pass this on to you, TSS, because what really caught me off guard is also something that I think people need to understand as well. TV is no longer the way it once was many years ago, you know.
Yeah.
TV has slowly been dwindling bit by bit. It is no longer the big thing now, since, of course, internet, social streaming sites, and all that stuff are now available and become the forefront of many streaming services for like Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, you name it. There's just a wide variety of streaming services there that people decide to go towards that rather than actually watching TV firsthand. And I think this is a really smart marketing move, honestly. Maybe not for those in Japan, but for those outside of Japan. If you've noticed, and this is something we talked about just a couple of minutes ago, this episode is available to watch worldwide, meaning it is not blocked in certain countries, at least from what I'm aware of. I'm able to actually watch the episode here in the US, and that to me is the biggest shock of it all, to see that they would allow this to even be accessible outside of Japan in this format. And I'm curious to see if this has something to do with the reception of what went down back with the 22nd film of the Pocket Monsters series, you know, the movie, with Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution, with how it was very well received outside of Japan when it was shown off during the one of the conventions, being of Anime Expo, was it? No.
Yes, it was AX. Yeah, it was
Anime
AX.
Expo, yeah.
All right, so
but just to finish up my thoughts here, you know, assuming this is the direction that they're going with for in terms of uploading each episode on the channel, like you mentioned, KG, I think it's going to be a really smart marketing move, especially with the notion, especially with, you know, the trend that, you know, these TVs are slowly dying down, right? So they gotta find some way to watch these episodes, and YouTube and the internet is the way to do it nowadays. But if it's just the first episode, at least it'll introduce the viewers into what's going to occur with this new series.
Also, I think the reason why they're able to do this is because if you look at the credits at the beginning of the episode, you see that the music is being done by TV Tokyo Music, not by Miyazaki. It's being credited as TV Tokyo Music, and since the opening is not part of Sony either, I think they don't have to worry about licensing issues with the music. And I think that's probably why it's not blocked. But I also think it's because it's not only because of movie 22, it's also because of the massive reception and the massive coverage of Satoshi winning the Alola League on major websites like CNN.
Yeah, it pretty much blew up all over the world. Like it trended
blew up
on
social media everywhere. Now, official places uploading anime episodes to YouTube isn't new. Koro has done this for a long time, for like at least the last couple of years or last 3 years. However, though, as we know, it's region locked to Japan IP addresses. But like I said, this is the very first time that the Japanese Pocket Monsters, an official upload of an anime episode, is available worldwide. And I'm hoping that they will continue this. Now, normally with stuff like the Koro channel, they upload the episode delayed, like a week after. However, I think I'm hoping that it's maybe going to be like this. Maybe quote me if I'm wrong or something like that down the line. But maybe what they're going to do is they're going to keep episode 1 up. Then they're going to put maybe episode 2, leave it up for a week, delete it, put the next one up, delete it, next one up, delete it. But they'll always have episode 1. Because that's what usually happens. Okay, PR Pokemon Twitter that they're going to be doing weekly episodes. Okay, so maybe what they're going to do is exactly what I'm saying. They're going to keep episode 1 up, but they're going to probably put episode 2 up, and then they're going to private it. Episode 3, private it, and whatnot. Yeah, and we even have a link right now for Antipoke. And when was this? And when was this post? This was posted literally yesterday. Let me see here.
They even have a website too to go into full detail regarding all this.
Let's see. Enemy turtle streaming. Okay. And let's see. Pikachu. Okay, Pikachu. Okay, that's because that looks like that says Jido. Let's see. Jido. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. So all right. So all right then. Okay, so then that means what they're gonna do is, I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna have episode 1. Actually, no, wait. This one is the link to the TV Tokyo one. This is not on the. Okay, the TV Tokyo one is region locked.
But the one on the TPC one is unlocked.
Yes.
Which makes me question if they're only going to just upload episode 1 on TPC and the rest are going to go straight back to TV Tokyo then.
Yes.
Which even then we're still uncertain. We'll probably find out by next week at this point. But for what it is right now, this is really a smart decision on their part. Because I think to even allow viewers outside of, Japan to go and watch it, and given that they also have access to the analytics to see the viewer count and see where a lot of the views are coming from, hopefully that will be a message for them to know just how much people outside of Japan would really appreciate the Pokemon series, being accessible worldwide.
Right now, episode 1 on Pokemon's official YouTube channel is 1.2 million, and they released that like yesterday.
Yeah.
So we have like maybe 1.2 million views. So I'm pretty sure that if they were to do this every week, that's a lot of eyes on the episode.
And if they, let's hope that they can keep that consistency, because, of course, after every episode, not every single viewer is going to come back every single week, But let's hope
Yeah.
that it can continue to maintain that momentum of just being able to deliver on the content, and of course delivering it for those who really want to go and watch these episodes officially. You know, because like legitimately, this is official. This is
Yes.
you can watch this officially. Sure, it's not subbed, but it is a step in the right direction.
It is a, as I called it. It's a soft victory.
Indeed. And yeah, we don't get gold farm too, so just take that as an extra win, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. Now, but point of the matter is, yes, everything has its, journey. This is their stepping stone for when they're going to start doing this. And if this is going to be the way, I am perfectly A-okay with it. And, it's Pokemon as well. We're not going to get high-level writing here and there. So, to watch these raw before watching them sub later on, at least I'm actually watching it officially for goddamn once. You know how many times I had to watch this shit illegally every single goddamn week? It's the only reason why I watch illegal anime is because this Pokemon series is the only series that I know presently, that I watch anyway, that is fucking illegal to watch, because it's not accessible outside of Japan. So to have this episode out officially on YouTube of all platforms for viewers who can easily go and check it out, this is a great thing. And I hope that we continue to receive more of it. So yeah. So hopefully this will be a thing, and we'll see what happens moving forward, man. So overall, I'm excited. And I can't wait for the next adventure with Ash and Pikachu. But of course, now that we got that out of the way, I assume that's really all the main things that we needed to get out, right?
Yeah.
Alright, let's actually now go and talk about the episode. Let's actually discuss about how this episode is being handled. Because technically, while this is theoretically episode number 1, this genuinely felt like episode number 0. Because this was a prelude. This was how things were being, like before everything began. The origins. And I have to say, for an origin story, I am so glad with one major thing. This episode, despite being an origin story, fits beautifully with all the Pokemon episodes that have released after this, this origin story. Meaning that all the events that took place in OS and AG, DP, and every series moving onward, none of that really gets retconned whatsoever, because this episode here naturally fits with the storyline that's already been structured for 20 years now, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I love it because of it. Now, there is one little thing I'm not so happy with in regards to this episode. And that is, I feel like there was a certain part in this episode that I think should have been saved for a little later. So, we'll get more into that soon enough. But for now, let's go and actually start breaking down this episode bit by bit. And we kick things off real quick and discuss about Satoshi, as in Kid Satoshi. As in the little Satoshi, not the 10-year-old kid Satoshi.
6 years old.
As in the non-Rika Matsumoto.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
this is a key thing that I was told. For starters, Rika Matsumoto is not voicing Satoshi, and I think somebody mentioned to me that Pichu is not voiced by, or is it? I'm not sure. Maybe not voiced by Ikuo Otani.
Okay. So, Rika does appear in this episode, by the way, but she does not voice 6-year-old Satoshi. 6-year-old Satoshi is being voiced by Hana Takeda. So different voice. So it's the first time that we heard Satoshi with a different voice actress.
Because
that's
she's
number
always
one.
done Ash in the past with like the little one.
Yes, and yes, Ikuo Otani did Pichu.
Okay.
Obviously, now that's another thing. Now we've mentioned also that let me see here. There was let's see here. I think it was who was it? I'm trying to freaking think.
You're good.
No, because I know that
The narrator?
Gara, which is
Kangaskhan?
Kangaskhan, yeah, the kid is being voiced by the same woman that was in the special. Trying to remember her name at the moment. I think it's Shimofuri Mojo or something like that. I think it's somebody else. But anyway, that's for the live. I think that was for the live special. But anyway, continuing on my ramblings. This is one of the rare times where you can actually see regular cast members being shown off as voicing Pokemon and not from their main characters. Like, for example, Inoko Inuyama actually does Bellsprout. Never knew that until yesterday. Also, Megumi Hayashibara does the mother Kangaskhan. Shinichiro Miki does Arbo, or
Ekans?
Sorry, Ekans, yeah. And Rikako Aikawa does Caterpie. And Yuji Ueda does Koiking, or Magikarp. So
yeah, so it really threw me off with like how they're interpreting the voices this time around and using them in ways we never really get a chance to see them from, you know.
And also Koichi Yamadera does Mew. So
yeah,
he does return. Yeah,
I was expecting that, and I could clearly hear that, so I assume that this one is going to be a recurring voice that we're going to hear a lot more often throughout the series. So yeah, I'm very happy with the decision that they've gone this time around with like the voice directions, because I think from what I just got from this episode, it was absolutely great, man. I had a lot of fun with this episode, and I think that has to be mainly because, as I mentioned before, the origin story, it meshes well with all the storylines that have came after that origin storyline. And I also just love how I feel like this opens up a lot more opportunities for us to continue to explore the past and connect it with the present timeline, because I think they did a great job with introducing us to certain things, but I feel like they kept stuff hidden for the sake of maybe touching upon it later down the road. Because one of the weakest aspects to me personally with this episode had to be with Go and Koharu, because I feel like, in my opinion, they were not really needed in this episode. I really felt like it should have been more for Pichu's side. However, with that being said, if they do tackle upon this later and continue to expand upon it, then of course I'll take back what I said. But right now, I really do believe that what we did get from Go and Koharu was still pretty great. I think it's just that I really wanted more. And I think that's probably the weakest part about this episode, was that it wasn't an hour-long episode like I had hoped it would have been. It was a half an hour special, with another half an hour being this other side thing that has nothing to do with like the actual anime and its own separate stuff, you know, if that makes sense.
So actually, so the Kangaskhan child was voiced by Marie Itoyo, but that's not the point. The reason why they had to get Go and Koharu into this is because they have to introduce them.
Yeah. I get that they have to introduce them. I'm just saying, I just wish we were able to get a little bit more out of it. I know that it's hard to fit so much into 24 minutes.
I honestly don't think so, because Go is already getting his backstory episode in like episode 7, but episode 9 or episode 7.
I think it's episode 9.
8 or 9 or whatever the hell it is. It's somewhere in the new year. So we're gonna have that backstory in the new year. Okay, that's fine, but we had to at least introduce the characters for the time being. Also to establish Satoshi is a character that is fucking lazy and always gets late.
Yeah, I love how the continuity still kind of stayed canon, because he still did that as a little kid, and then of course going back to present timeline, he still did the same shit. And I know we're gonna get that joke one more time, given the preview we got a while ago where Ash and Pikachu are sleeping in the bed, so you see him still yeet that ball into the wall. So clearly there's still gonna be more of that joke happening later down the road.
Yes.
So yeah, you know, like in my opinion, I just feel like I think what I wanted is, because I've been really enjoying this episode, I just wanted more. Because like what we got was good, but man, would I love to have seen a lot more, because there's just so many cool elements in this episode that you hope to see be expanded upon, and I'm pretty confident we will get more of it later. I'm just saying for now, I just really wanted that enjoyment, especially when you come out from the fact that like the last Pokemon episode used all of its episode without any breaks whatsoever. I was kind of hoping like that for here as well, if that makes sense. You know, like every single minute was used, and then next week is when we get the opening and ending. But we'll talk about the opening in a bit. But yeah, you know, I still had a solid good time with this episode. It was a nice way to reintroduce everybody
I'm back.
to welcome back to Pikachu's origin story as a little baby Pichu, and even go in Koharu and see how they all got connected with each other. And also, most importantly, how Ash didn't even get a chance to meet them. I'm also very happy about that.
Oh my god. Poor Ash, by the way. What at this point it's a running joke and he needs to throw that damn Pidgey alarm clock away. Like gotta get rid of that.
I genuinely felt bad for him when you saw him in the sunset, like in his bed. He's just like crouched up.
Just,
I genuinely
his finger on the bed.
I felt so bad for him. I never felt so bad for Ash in my life than I did there, because he was so excited that he was gonna get a chance to go to the camp, and then he missed out on it. And, like,
Omnitrix, to answer your question, they tackled that, by the way. He says I'm surprised Delia didn't wake up. She said that she had something to do that morning, so herself up.
Yeah, so she had to be busy. That's why.
Which, kudos to the captions on YouTube, by the way.
Oh, you actually saw it up there.
Yeah, I saw it on YouTube, and the captions are spot on to what they're saying.
Interesting. All right, then.
Like TSS is probably a better judge of the translation than me, but I understood everything perfectly fine.
Nice. But yeah, so like we got a little bit of an origin story about that, and for Pichu. Now, a quick question. What do you guys think about Pichu's whole, storyline, how it connected with the Kangaskhan line for a bit before going its own pathway? Like, what do you think about that?
I think we've been waiting 22 years for a backstory for Pikachu because we never knew, because we always thought, okay, it was a jackass from day one, but it wasn't. It was obviously a very fancy-free Pichu. And it was scared, and of course they had to do the whole. Yeah,
I love
Pichu.
I love how it build. This is the best way they could describe Pikachu's character, considering the fact that this character, it dives into a lot of things that fit perfectly within the origins of Pokemon. The fact that Pikachu was trying to leave Kangaskhan's pouch because he knew that Kangaskhan was being held down because years had passed and they were getting older. So Pichu literally was trying to hop out of being confined by that pouch, and Kangaskhan tried to put it back in. That makes sense because Pikachu does not like being contained. So Pikachu likes to roam on its own 2 feet. It likes to be out. That's probably why it was out alone in the first place. It's because it doesn't like being held down.
In my opinion, I got that more as it didn't want to be a burden no more to Kangaskhan.
Well, yeah, but that's another reason why it also probably doesn't like Pokeball. It doesn't like just being held up.
Yeah.
That's why it was grumpy when it came out of the Pokeball, because he was like, what in the world even was that? And who is this?
Yeah, like I'm suddenly meeting this weird Who man right over here.
Yeah, you know what's another thing that they left unanswered? How Pikachu ended up in the Pokeball to begin with and ended up with that.
Well, somebody threw it. Yeah, Professor O probably chucked it at him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anything, you should get me. Well, honestly,
I also love how this is happening intertwined with the event of Go. Like this is Go's introduction to the story, and I think they did a really good job mixing him with Pichu, but the two never interact. So Pikachu's never going to have a moment where it's go, oh, I remember this kid. Because he wasn't in the context. He was at the bottom of the ravine when Kangaskhan fell before Mew used Chaos Control to stop him. Chaos Control! Yeah, Zawater though. But yeah, so Pikachu was at the bottom of the ravine. Go was at the top. So they never physically met each other.
But they do meet something though. And I think that might be the thing that'll connect them together.
Yeah, probably.
That being
also,
the Mew.
I want to point this out. This is the best representation of Mew. Oddly, this one episode has a lot better than all of its movie appearances combined.
Dang. Even Lucario?
Yes, especially Lucario. Because in this movie, Mew's not just sitting around being cute. It's doing cute stuff, but it fights off Nidoking, and I love how it copies all of Nidoking's moves. I love how it transforms into other Pokemon. I love the fact that it's messing with Go. I love the fact that right before Kangaskhan falls, it decides to be a hero and do something about it. Like, I love the amount of actions that Mew took.
Also, it's just funny just seeing Mew be a jerk unintentionally at the poor Kangaskhan. Because, like,
Yes.
I love how Kangaskhan kept repeating using the moves, and Mew was just, like, casually brushing that shit off to the side. And
It was Nidoking. Yeah, Nidoking was doing the moves.
Yeah, and then suddenly Mew decides to replicate the said moves that the Pokemon was using, and he just bounces back on it, but it ends up being more powerful than the one it did. And he just kept getting aggravated left and right, started releasing all these other moves like Fire Blast and still getting his ass blasted by it. You know, so I love that. I think from the comedy aspect, that was actually really hilarious. And I think it fits well with Mew's personality that we've seen throughout the years anyway.
I think the most similar to we've seen of Mew doing this was oddly enough in the first movie when threw the Shadow Ball at it. And we thought that it was over, and then it threw the Shadow Ball back at Mewtwo.
Yeah, stuff like that, you know, I appreciate it a lot. Another thing I also want to say that I really appreciate from this episode that I think many people are going to now start getting used to as well, the music.
The music's beautiful.
Okay.
0% Miyazaki music.
Yeah, not a single song was being used regarding with Miyazaki. As you guys already know, we got a brand new music composer for this series. Let me see if I can actually bring up his name. Do you guys by any chance have it with you? What was his name, just to make sure?
I just call him the composer that did My Hero Academia.
Yeah, but I just want to make sure I got it right over here, because I know, of course, it's a new era, so it's only appropriate to start bringing up this new person, because now he's gonna be the new face for the series now, you know, at least with the TV anime. Oh, let me see if I can find it real quick. I wish I had it.
Yuki Hayashi.
Okay, Yuki Hayashi. Thank you guys in the chat for that. I really appreciate it. Yuki Hayashi, I will say, he did an amazing job in this goddamn first episode. If there is one moment in this episode that really caught me caught my attention the most and really made me believe that yes, this is gonna be done well, it was the moment when Pichu had to say farewell to the Kangaskhan line.
Yes.
Where it begins with like this like atmospheric music, ambient sound that you hear in the background with the cricket noise and all that, and it's such a beautiful piece. And then when he gets to the piano bit, that's when it hit me hard, man, because it's like I've been adjusted so much to Miyazaki's creations, given that we've been literally watching that for over 20 years now. We've already gotten used to the sound direction that Miyazaki would create. So to hear stuff like this, especially with like the piano bit in this moment when Pichu said farewell to the Kangaskhan line, that really, to me personally, I would put that up there as like one of the best emotional songs from the Pocket Monster series. I would even say it would be up there to like the ones from the original series, like the one where they have to separate with each other song, or like when they end the episodes off, like that song. Not Tears After Cloudy Weather. What was the other one? Or maybe it might be that one. But point is,
I think you got it right. Yeah.
The point is that the music in this is really great, but I absolutely love the emotional bits. I think the emotional songs were some of the best. And honestly, that's what hurts me the most, because I am loving these songs now, but I know we're going to have to wait decades before we actually get the OST for this series. Maybe not, actually. Who knows? We're not certain how they're actually going to handle it this time around, but I hope one day we'll get a chance to hear these music, both from Miyazaki as well as Yuki Hayashi later in the future. But for now, good first impression on this man's part. Absolutely loved it. Really, without a doubt.
I really love, and just going back to the episode itself, this is relevant to Pichu and like how it evolves. It's like it evolves through love. It evolves through love. So Kangaskhan's love naturally would make Pichu evolve into Pikachu. Like that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like.
Although I will say it's kind of out of place that Pichu's there in like every other region, but you know, whatever.
Yeah, that's fine. But like that's why it hit me so hard, is because when I realized that it evolved and then you hear that piano note play in the background, that shit hit me because I'm like, oh my god, it's because Kangaskhan was being the motherly figure for Pichu. And then, of course, you're going to realize that this is probably going to be the last time we're ever going to see this Kangaskhan because years have passed by since the events of that. And, of course, in the present timeline.
Alright, now look.
Go on.
Alright, sorry about that. Now look. If you didn't cry when that piano note hit, when All Might told Deku that you're next, and when he started tearing up, you kind of know what... You kind of get the idea of what you might expect on this series when it comes to this music.
Dude, yeah, you completely nailed it on it. I think if you've been already adjusted to the My Hero saga with like the musical direction that Yuki Hayashi composes for, you're already gonna get a good understanding as to how this is going to be structured, and I'm really loving everything so far. There are going to be a lot of fantastic scores that I think we're going to get from Yuki Hayashi, and I hope it's a great one, man. I really do. And for now, first impressions, loved it. But
oh, definitely. Like you know, like I mentioned before, you know, I know there are some people that don't watch My Hero Academia, and I talked with you about this yesterday, TSS. Well, not yesterday. On Saturday, how you don't watch My Hero Academia, which that's fine with me, but you know, we are going to be in good hands with this.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, absolutely. I feel that the music that Hayashi has created, great. I mean, perfectly.
They already played the Wild Battle theme, I believe.
Yes, they did.
Was not in this episode, wasn't it?
No, they did it for a preview of episode 2.
For Lugia Raid.
Yeah, like when Lugia was beating everybody's ass.
That's the Galar one. But
yeah.
But they were playing. But I'm trying to remember what Hayashi played for. I know he played like a Gen 1 track.
Oh, the main theme.
The gym theme. Said the gym theme. That's right.
Yeah.
Gym theme for Gen 1. Yeah, that's right. Kanto gym theme.
Yeah, we know that. We also know that Yuki Hayashi did a main theme for the Pokemon like Red, Blue, and Green games as well, but for the anime. So we're gonna definitely be hearing a lot of remixes of past songs being done in his style. And so far, like I said, I'm happy with this. I think this was a good successor to Miyazaki. Of course, I always expect great things for Miyazaki and the best of luck for him in whatever future projects he has for himself and, you know, his content. But right now, I think this man right here is a worthy successor, and I cannot wait to hear more of his music as we progress on into the series of Pocket Monsters. With that being said, though, as we're still talking about music, let's go talk about that other musical piece that also decided to drop out of nowhere as well. Because
1, 2, 3, the Poke Bitches are back.
Oh yeah, 1, 2, 3, boogie.
It's a good opening song. I think it's a really nice.
Can we talk about the fact that Ash did a stanky leg?
Yeah, see, I said that in the tweet.
They all just boogie on that 1, 2, 3 segment.
1, 2, 3.
I love how the professor's doing the robot in the background.
Yeah, and then the other two are just doing like a simple ballet dance, I think.
I think what's her name? Yeah, the girl. She's doing Shikoharu's doing a ballet twirl.
Yeah, it's like
I don't know what Go's doing. Go's doing his own thing.
Go is just busy vibing to the beat, man. It's just
Go doesn't seem like he's much of a Ash isn't a dancer either, but Go does not seem like he dances at all. So it's actually funny to see him do it.
I also like how Yamper, being the good boy that it is, was just rolling around his back to the music.
Yeah, and then like it does the head tilt as well, like at the very end. So because like Yamper just
this feels like the most anime opening Pokemon's had.
You know what? That is so true because it's like there's the typical boy jumping up high and then running down the hill. They accidentally fall down. The girl looks at them and then just like scuffs off, you know. Of course, and also the Team Rocket introduction in the opening as well was pretty badass, you know, with them like looking up top and like they have like this JoJo-esque look to them, man.
Yeah, you are approaching me.
Yeah.
Jotaro.
Yeah, and also the animation in the opening was fantastic. Like immediately after the Team Rocket bit, you see Pikachu going after Tyranitar, which, by the way, again, poor Tyranitar. That Pokemon.
Yeah, Tyranitar cannot get a break with Pikachu. Like,
no, it can't.
It's Christ.
And then, of course,
apparently Corviknight.
yeah, Corviknight's gonna be the new Tyranitar for this generation because
Corviknight got kicked in the chest.
Ow, my shins, or some shit like that. Like seriously, poor Corviknight. Like you see its tongue just come out after it gets kicked in the gut. I'm like, shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so the opening was a fun thing to listen to, and also for those who are really curious to know, the full opening is actually out already. Maybe not officially via like streaming services like iTunes, Spotify, all that kind of stuff, but it is available on the official YouTube channel for
at least an upload.
Yeah, Mafu was it that uploaded on his channel? I think it was.
I believe so.
I believe it is Mafu would upload it on his channel. He uploaded the full song alongside, as you guys already know, it's a collaboration between both Mafu and Soraru, who are some Go on.
Yeah, Mafu, John Neru.
Yeah,
yeah.
So they were the ones that were responsible for the opening this time around, and I have to say, I think they absolutely nailed the Pokemon feel with their song. Just to kick things off, they played the Game Boy sound effect.
I like that.
And then, of course, somewhere in the middle of the song, they played the Pokeball summon effect as well when the Pokemon comes out of the Pokeball, and that's when they begin their dance. That was also great, too. There's a lot of references in that song that really makes me appreciate the direction that they went to go to with the new opening. And I think if those who enjoy and capture or see the references, they're gonna get a good kick out of it. But yeah, I think the Game Boy beat was the absolute winning thing about that opening, man. I just loved it. I think that's the best way to capture this new era of Pokemon. Next week, though, we will be getting the Masuda ending song. As you guys already know, Junichi Masuda is, for the first time in the Pokemon anime series, is actually going to be composing an ending song. How the hell is that going to work is what I want to know.
Well, remember, we know Masuda can still produce stuff because remember Battle Room MTM with Battle Room and M. He composed that one along with Miyazaki and Hip Tanaka.
Yeah.
So.
It's just going to be curious to hear, because like for the anime series, I just never thought Junichi Masuda would ever touch it, but did you guys notice just how much Game Freak is now being involved with the new Pocket Monsters anime? I mean, with Go's design, I believe it was done by Ken Sugimori,
yes.
And then of course Junichi Masuda is now going to be composing the ending song for the series. And then, we just have a lot more of a interaction between the two. And I think maybe they might be the ones responsible for making this new series go on a completely different direction than trying to connect with the main storyline. Because this, to me, is the most exciting for one thing only. We have no idea where the hell this series is going to go.
Also, like I said, as I said about 45 minutes ago or whatnot, about the fact that this is like really easy to license. So I know that it's going to be. I think maybe it's going to open the door later on. I mean, actually, if we are gonna go the route that some people are thinking that okay, maybe the official Pokemon channel will upload it every week to the official Pokemon channel, and without any sort of issues whatsoever with music licensing. Then that means that there's going to be no there's going to be no music. Well, no edits in terms of maybe everybody be able to watch it. Like there's going to be no doubt in my mind that they're clearly trying to do a different direction.
Do you think that might be why they changed composers? To kind of like refresh everything and not really have to worry about that?
Yeah, I think it's probably just to get it easier to license.
Yeah, because like literally now that we're in the new era, they don't have to care
if you look at it, well, like you guys said, Hayashi does music for My Hero Academia, and that shit's all over in the Western. That's already licensed and everything. No issues with music licensing at all. So probably with that, and with Masuda on board, and with these two Nico people, the two Nico collab together, that's not having an issue with any sort of licensing, that makes it very easy for them to just bring it over to the West.
Somebody says the double suffer regardless. Now here's the thing with that, EB. Like am I hearing something in the background? Oh,
Yeah, I'm
Sorry,
very
that's my
excited.
phone.
oh, okay. Now, the thing about this, though, that I really want to bring up is I think that the music for the dub might not be as messed up as you think, because if it's actually being held by TPC this time around instead of being distributed to different services out there, maybe it might be easier for the music that plays in the background to, you know, shift over to the dub side. But that also depends if it's actually going to happen. But I think Goldfarb confirmed they're already making music for the new series anyway.
Boo.
So I guess there's that. If you want a different experience from Pocket Monsters, there you go. If you like that.
Boo.
But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see this new era. I am so excited with this series. I've never been this excited for a new series because of the new changes they're going with this, man.
Yeah.
It is such a fun and mysterious adventure we're going to be in. And I really hope it's going to be a really enjoyable one. This first episode
This was a good first
fun.
impression. I still want to give it a couple episodes.
Yeah.
Am I going to stay consistent? Because then we'll run into my Sun and Moon situation.
Yeah, I think for a majority of us here anyway, I feel like we're still going to just keep sticking with it just for the sake of, you know, of course, discussing it and debating
Yeah.
Well,
on
it's
it.
not only for the discussion, but like I said, the overall tone is much different than Sun and Moon. So it and plus, like I said, it's going to be all inclusive, and already I'm getting much better vibes than Sun and Moon 1.
Yeah, like I'm really loving that.
I mean, yeah,
like,
the storytelling wise seems like it's more focused.
and also the forced expressions are not as forced here as how I felt like with past. Like I feel like they've understood the criticisms that they've received with the last generation and really worked around it to really, while still maintain the comedy, understand when and where to use comedy, you know? Because like there are moments when Go would like freak the hell out and his eyes would like bulge into like ridiculous levels, but it works so well because first of all he's like 6 years old anyway, and secondly he's seen a mythical Pokemon replicate another Pokemon's move. Of course you would react in that same format, you know?
Yeah.
So it, like that kind of structure, I'm loving it, and I think that's what we're going to be receiving throughout this series. Is we're going to get a lot of comedy, but I feel like the comedy this time around is going to be structured in a way that really
gonna be
doesn't feel
justified.
forced. And yeah, it's
gonna be
justified.
justified.
Yeah, you know, like we saw in previews, like when Ash and Go are on top of Lugia and they're about to fall off, and then they see each other and then they start freaking out, being like, "Who the hell are you?" You know, stuff like that is what we're gonna get plenty of throughout the series. And I think this opening also does a great job in kind of giving you an idea of what we're going to get, because like the ridiculous moments of when they're dancing in like that middle spot. I don't know if you guys caught this. I really want to bring this up now. Okay, so the dance sequence when they're doing the 1, 2, 3 and all that, and then the professor and everybody else shows up. I want you guys to pay close attention to that weird colorful thing in the middle top part when they're doing the dance. If you pay really close attention, Mew is also dancing there too.
Yeah.
Mew was not in the original first part of the dance, but in the second part when the professor and everybody else began to show up, Mew was there in that weird spot, also mimicking the dance that the others are going through as well. I love that. It is such a cool little nod right there to what's being presented with this series. It's like these small details that I guarantee many will miss, if not until somebody points it out. But it's shit like that I love. And if we get more of that throughout the series, that is what I'm going to appreciate the most. And seeing that this adventure is going to be a fun-filled, wacky adventure between two dudes who look like they are about to become the best of friends because they're going to be the only ones to work together throughout many adventures, this is going to be a absolute blast of a journey. And I hope it manages to do a great job in not only delivering on that, but managing to be a series that can hold on its own and be something one of a kind, if that makes sense for you guys. But so far, really, really loved it, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait for what the next adventure has in store for us. We know it's going to already involve Lugia. The opening seems to make a hint at that Lugia is going to actually be a lot more prevalent than we would assume it'd be. And
It'll probably just be their main ride Pokemon.
yeah, because I got a question, how the hell are they going to go from region to region? But Lugia is just going to be okay with that? Like, there has to be something.
Well, the idea, I think, is that they're catching it in the raid battle.
Oh, so they, like, legitimately catch
So
Lugia.
it might be, like, legitimately there.
Well, you see, we signed a contract.
3 years to be exact with this Lugia.
It says it right here in Article 4. Section B written in red, Lugia. You'll fly us to the Kanto region and all the other regions.
You will fly us across various regions in the Pokemon world on a 3-year.
Yeah, the 3-year TV time we got going on. Man, so far.
I saved you as a baby. You owe me this.
Oh, it's the baby. It's actually Lugia confirmed. Dude, that shit would be hilarious at that point if these Pokemon were actually caught by these kids. Like, we know the raid battle exists now, so we know somebody has to catch it. And I'm assuming Ash or Go is going to be the one to catch it.
Because I see the other trainers are heading off to try to catch it.
Exactly, they're physically trying to catch it, and I think Ash and Go are going to try to catch it for themselves, and Lugia is going to be A-okay with it. Yeah, but it's a little funny in regards to thinking that a 10-year-old boy actually caught one of the more stronger legendary Pokemons to exist in the universe, and it's like, we're going to just use it as a ride Pokemon in a nutshell. Because, like, I'm assuming that if they catch the Lugia, they're not going to use it outside of just going from region
Probably
to region.
not, yeah.
Like, I would imagine, like, Team Rocket shows up and Go fucking throws out the Lugia in the fight.
Oh, my goodness.
like that would be fucking hilarious, though, to be quite fair. I would love shit like that. So, you know, there's another thing I also want to bring up before we go wrap things up as well for tonight. All right. So, you know, the Pocket Monster series, it is definitely becoming a one-of-a-kind deal. It's really doing its own thing. Now, do you think the movie is actually going to connect with Pocket Monsters 2019? Because I think it can.
They have potential to make a movie. Like, there's a mission that involves some legendary Pokemon.
Yeah, because, like, I feel like this is going to be the first time where legitimately we can get a film that can go from region to region. What I mean by that is that we can go and focus on, let's say, the beginning part of the movie where Ash and Go are still back in Kanto in Vermilion City, back in their lab, you know, and researching on where to go next, when suddenly a big thing begins surfacing in another part of a region. And then Ash and Go are going to have to go there.
Yeah. Or it might, like, the movie might start off with them already in the region they go to. They were there for one mission, but something came up that's much bigger in that region that caught their attention.
Yeah. Go on, Evie?
See, the good thing with this upcoming series, you know, they're not restricted to just one region, unlike the past ones, right? So, you know, they're free to explore the world as they wish. And of course, now with the movie, they can actually find ways to connect to the, you know, they could actually find ways to bring Ash and Go into the movies, right?
Yeah.
And also, Jesus, I had something in mind and it completely slipped.
Now, I will say this, to be fair, the movies didn't really care if Ash, like, in the past when the movies revolved around in the middle of Ash and the others on their journey, it didn't really care about, like, like, for example, Ash could be in the Johto region, but then he winds up in, like, Venice.
Yeah.
Venice, Italy, randomly, when that's nowhere in the Johto. Just it was this next set for the movie.
I would love if they can go there.
They didn't really care. They didn't really care about that. So if they really want to make a movie where Ash and Go just show up, they can. Nothing's really stopping them. I don't think that's ever been an issue even in the past movies. Like, why was Ash in the middle of the desert when he was in the Kalos region? There's barely a desert in the Kalos region.
Now,
also, you know, unlike Sun and Moon, where they have a pretty huge cast, you know, how's that going to fit into the movies, right? You know,
right.
Now we have a. You know,
we only have two. We only have two.
Yeah, which is Ash and Go.
We just have two characters. Yeah.
And maybe Koharu.
Go ahead, KG.
I was gonna say this. This is where I know this is not gonna happen, but given how much I feel like this series has been doing a lot of what I've been requesting, I have but one little itty bitty request for this new movie era. If we are gonna get movies that will connect with Pocket Monsters. Given that we might go to different regions, it would be interesting if they get returning characters to join in on films. And I mean, not certain ones that connect to that region, but a mixture. It's gonna
be hard.
Because, like, imagine, like, I'm not expecting, like, let's say just Dawn and then Brock show up with each other. No, I mean, like, different mix-ups that we would not see. Like, I think Dawn or say Dawn and Iris. Like, let's say those two meet up somewhere at some point and they end up being together for a bit, and then they themselves get involved into the plot line because they just so happen to be in the same area that the events are going on, you know? Now, what do you guys think about that? Like, not only just for them, but like even maybe characters that are exclusive to films itself also make appearances later down the road. I think a majority of them will probably not be the case because it seems like a lot of them are going to still stick in that one spot. But I can think of certain characters that would definitely be a cool idea to really start trying to incorporate, you know, characters from the past and making them a little bit more different this time around and having them be involved in another side storyline.
How about we actually get a real Galar plot in a movie?
I can dig with that. Yeah, I can deal with that.
I mean, come on. I mean, you got to do Gen 8 pandering at some point.
Yeah, I can deal with that.
Now we're gonna go to
Sinnoh. You could have the Zamazera stuff.
Zacian and Zamazeta, yeah.
Yeah.
No. What we're gonna get is we're gonna go to Diamond and Pearl, and then there's gonna be a mythical Pokemon that's gonna come out exclusively for the next generation Pokemon game, being on 8.5, being DP remakes, and that's where it's gonna be.
No.
There you go.
There's a I don't want to talk about it because it's spoilers for the game, but there's a plot point in the game that I feel like could work its way based on Ash and Go, and make a movie out of it. But that's if they want to do it. I'm not going to talk about it much here because I don't want to spoil it for KG and the others who haven't made it that far in the story yet. So I'll give it a couple of weeks before we come back to that topic again.
All right. One last thing, though, because you brought that up. Would you guys, I'm not sure if you guys would, but I really want to see if you guys would be okay with this. Would you like to see a trilogy again?
Sure. I wouldn't. I mean, if as long as it's continuity. I mean,
I wouldn't be against it. Yeah, I wouldn't be against it.
I think Yajima is the new face for the movies, isn't he? With the writing side, and given his success that he did with the Pokemon film, Everyone's Story, if he can expand upon stuff like that and make a new trilogy in his style, I think it can work.
Yeah, I wouldn't be against it.
Yeah, I'd be that's something I wouldn't mind, especially if you want to find a way to bring audiences to buy tickets to see the movie with with characters that they're already familiar with. Then I don't see why not.
Yeah, I think it's only going to be one of those situations where time will tell, and we're not that far off because literally, we're next month. That's when they always drop the teasers, don't they?
Yeah.
So I think we can have something to look forward to really soon, and maybe we might hit the nail on the head with this one, or maybe we might be extremely far off, and Ash is going to be another alternate universe self yet again for the films. We do not know, but it is exciting to see that the new Pocket Monsters era has officially, arrived, and I cannot wait for more adventures with Ash and Pikachu this time around, especially when you know that this is canon to the series. Everything that's happening right now, everything is canon. Thanks to that one picture that came out that confirmed it is canon. And that puts a smile on my face, man. I'm so glad Sun and Moon era actually is canon to the storyline, because that means he came back as a champ for this one. And of course, the Orange Islands and all the other things too as well. But still, I'm just happy with this. I'm really glad to see Pocket Monsters be in this new era, new direction, and it's working for now. And I hope that continues to go in that route, because, well, I mean, who doesn't love fun things, right? All right, then. Well, what do you guys say we go and wrap things up for tonight, then? Why don't we?
Sounds good.
Yep.
Perfectly. So I know we've been a little longer than usual. I apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. It was actually a little harder this time around to start the stream for some reason. It was a little glitchy on my end, but that's why we had to start a little late. So apologies.
Not to mention that we also had a lot going on over the weekend. So there's that.
Yeah. Everybody's still here recovering from the con flu, so I hope you guys do not mind in regards to that. But look forward to our next session sometime later this week. We'll keep you guys updated on Twitter, of course, where we're going to be doing the anime edition of the PokéPod World, and from there we're going to go and talk a little bit about the Anime NYC experience and about some things regarding the films, and maybe even a bit of the My Hero Academia reaction. I still didn't even watch this week's episode of that, so I still have to
I haven't either.
I didn't either.
All right, I'm
I've been
gonna save
playing
that for
Pokemon.
Saturday.
Something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been playing Pokemon the whole time.
All right, we'll probably hold on to the reaction then for maybe Saturday. We'll probably do a dual reaction kind of thing.
Yeah.
All right, then. So let's go and wrap things up for tonight. Why don't we?
All right.
So thank you guys so much for being with us here for our very first session of the PokéPod World. We had an absolute blast being able to do this, of course, with all of you folks. And, of course, if you want to keep up to date with all of us, make sure to go and follow us in our respective Twitters, YouTube channels if you've been seen prior. And you can also find them in the description down below during the Friends segment. So make sure to go check that out. There's a lot of interesting things that are going to be coming moving forward, and I hope you guys are looking forward to all the fun things we have in store for you. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for being with us here tonight, and I hope you guys, as always, have yourself an awesome day.
And remember, Pokemon Sword and Shield tomorrow stream.
Indeed.
Yep, we're streaming tomorrow.
Indeed. My adventure into the world of Galar finally begins.
And the question is, what time? 10 p.m. Eastern.
As always,
same bad time, same bad channel.
10 p.m. Eastern, 3 a.m. GMT, 7 Pacific.
9 p.m. Central.
9 p.m.
It sounds
Central.
like a TV
10, 9
commercial.
Central.
The PokéPod
Right,
Part 2 at 10
9
p.m. Eastern
Central,
Standard Time,
yeah.
9 p.m. Central.
Only
on
Toonami.
Toonami.
Yeah, only Toonami.
Yeah, all right then. Well, thank you guys for being with us here. We'll see you guys later then. Bye-bye.
See you later.
My favorite Toonami thing was when they were showing off Dragon Ball Z back in the day, and for some reason I don't know why they mixed up scenes from Dragon Ball Z, and Frieza would come back as his mechanical self, and he'll go, "I will make this whole planet suffer," and then they cut to Trunks doing the energy blast towards the androids, but he goes, "No!" So it's so funny because it's like Dragon Ball Z on Toonami. I will make this whole planet suffer. No!